shadows they wander alone, old ruins where fears have grown, eyes that watch from ancient stone, whispers chill right to the bone. Gothic castles rise in the night, ghostly figures glide out of sight, wolf howling under pale moonlight, darkness creeps and grabs too tight. You have fallen into the Euro Crypt. There is no escape from the Euro Crypt. Fog curling through cobblestone streets, footsteps echoing heartbeats, vampires hunt their nightly feast, lurking monsters are released. Silent scream in a sepia dream, melancholy miles downstream, no one's safe or so it seems, worlds unravel at the seams. You have fallen into the Euro Crypt. There is no escape from the Euro Crypt. Fallen into the Euro Crypt. There is no escape from the Euro Crypt.
Hey, what's happening?
All right, man. We are back for the final installment of covering the deep cuts, man, with Johnny's Boutique podcast, man. Glad to have you back on.
Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys so much for having me back on, man. Thanks to Dirk Hall and Darren Burrows right there, man. Give it up for you guys, man. You guys are the fucking walking, talking encyclopedias of Giallo. So fucking kudos to you guys, man.
Oh man,
we're trying, man. I'm trying every day, but like
we are trying, but yeah, you're pretty good yourself, man. You surprised me with the knowledge you got.
You guys put the fucking icing on the cake. I'm just that fucking big blob of shit that's sitting on the counter for too long.
But man,
I love that. I love the introduction. Sorry, man. I love the introduction too, because I was as much as we've been really going over. This is essentially a fucking box set. If you ask me, there's so much content, that's packed into this little fucking case. Where I honestly think that Severin, David Gregory, whoever could have been like, hey, if we put some bells and whistles with this and just kind of revamp the packaging, we can call this an official fucking box set. So, but there's enough in there. But I saw the little clip though, where she's standing in front of the mirror and she's got her fucking bra and panties on, and the maggots coming out of the fucking corner of her retina. And I'm like, yes, man, literally just watched that moments ago. So,
yeah,
it's all relevant now.
Yeah, that's one of the best, I think, of that series.
I think so. I think that's my favorite out of the Argento's Nightmares for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll come into that, but I even like the Father Christmas one. I know it's a little bit goofy, like with the monster face and all that.
Yeah,
it's got like a charm to it, you know.
Right. Yeah, man. So what we're covering first, I guess we'll be covering the Night Shift, or the Nota Turno de Nota. My bad. Shit.
Yeah. You got it, man. Shit.
There's 17, right?
15.
15. Yeah.
15 of them.
A lot of these were lost as well for a long time. You could only find them on grainy, like VHS releases. I know they don't look perfect on this release, but they're the best you're gonna get, I think.
Yeah,
and I'm glad. I'm so glad they put these out. Like Johnny was saying, that set. If they'd have put like a slip cover on, and like you say, added a few more things, they could have sold that for like 70 or 80, and they still would have sold it.
They could have made a bundle, $100 $100-something and shit, threw a shirt in there or something. You know what I mean? Like
they kind of did,
absolutely.
With the opera. Did they do? Yeah, they released it with the opera.
Yeah, that's exactly the when I went for. It just had everything in it. Like the simple like silver thing was in there too, with the horrible autograph for opera and all that. But we all know that story. But yeah, like it just seems like to me it was like it's like one of those things where like don't get me wrong, like Dirk even said this last time. Like the case they put this in, I wish that was a standard because that bitch is built like a tank. I love those cases, but it's like man, like the slightest little bit of like somebody being like, hey, if we got enough time, like just to put a little bit more money into it or whatever, we can just turn this into a box set and put the bells and whistles like like you said, like a side load and slip case,
right?
Kind of like how we got with the Arrow stuff, like how we got the opera edition from them. I think just a little bit more. We could have been like, fuck, that's another limited edition set,
I don't know if y'all can see it or if it comes across, but that's pretty damn. That's a little more durable than those little bullshit ones, that break off and shit.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that shit with Scream Factory. The fucking shit snaps and shit, or it'll come like that. I'll be like, holy shit. But no, it's put together well, man. They went out of their way, dude, to source all these materials and like the amount of shit you get in this set. Holy shit. It's damn worth it. And
we were covering.
You're really
covering disc 1 and 2. Yeah. We were kind of like, hey man, like you can kind of tell, man, David Gregory, like, fuck, man, like there's just no telling what he had to do, how many lines he had to cross, how many international phone calls he had to fucking make just to make sure he was lining up all these elements. We'll get to episode 7, but right before when you play episode 7 on NightShifts, a nice little screen photo comes up for you, letting you know, like, hey, like literally the shit was so degraded and they could not find a finalized version that they had to reach out to Luigi Cozzi himself, and he actually supplied a tape to them to get that shit put on there. And you can see little Argento's little emblem that they actually premiered during the RAI television channel segment.
Yeah,
when they aired it. I was like,
that was actually
a great
cool.
touch.
Yeah,
I love that shit, man. I was like, God, that's so fucking genuine, man.
That's how it would have been when you seen it if you was in Italy at the time, right? So
absolutely,
pretty damn cool.
Yeah, man.
Man,
but it's only us nerds who realize shit like that little bit of innuendo kind of shit. It's like microscopic. Like most people would miss it, but us, we're just sitting here and be like, oh man, like that's the shit. Like that's what made that shit pop off.
Yeah, man. Machinate on stuff like that.
I know a lot of people probably been annoyed by it or whatever. Some shit. Yeah. But man, we got good crowd in here already, man. I appreciate everybody. We got Tex in here. It says, welcome to the panel, Pain. What's going on, brother?
Tex, man?
What's up, Tex?
Yeah, happy birthday, Tex. Anyway, I know it was your birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Oh shit, happy birthday, man.
We got Adrian James in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Adrian?
Brian Sanchez. What's all from Albuquerque, New Mexico? Awesome.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I know like there's a segment, there's a running theme through this whole series of Night Shift since he said Albuquerque, New Mexico. I know that there's a lot of UFO sightings and shit over there. So it kind of correlates with something in the series. It's kind of strange, but
yeah,
good old ghost cab, right?
Yeah, the ghost cab. Yeah, but he says, what's up, everybody? Okay, yeah, man. What's going on? We got Sean, Cinephile World Order. Hey, what's up, guys? What's happening?
Hey,
man?
what's up, Sean?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Hope you're doing good, man.
Good to see you in here, man. Fucky's got the deep red dog. Fuck my life.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, man. I did. I got that shit when it dropped. But
I was telling you too right before we went live. I was like, man, like as soon as I came in to enter the studio, that was the first thing I saw. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man! If that's the last thing you look at while you're trying to fall asleep at night, holy fuck, the amount of smart things you're gonna have.
Yeah, think about that. What he inspired to, Billy the Puppet and all that shit. I imagine.
Absolutely,
sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got cable channel 11. What's going on? Smoke
it
up.
What's up, Jess? What's up, man?
What's the old saying, Dirk? If you got them, smoke them.
Yeah, smoke them if you got them.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Jimmy in here. Good to see you guys again. That time of the week. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you being here. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got a good little crowd in here, man. Papa Thigh's pap smear. Time for a pap smear. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Fucking awesome name. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Popathias.
Someone had to explain that to me at one point. Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great. I just caught that shit. Holy shit. But yeah, happy birthday again, Tex, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is cracking in H-Time Rust?
I have no clue.
I have no clue.
All right. Steve Vincent Furnace. Good evening, gentlemen. What's happening, man?
Hey,
what's up, Steve?
But yeah, this so like before we really get into the shit, man, like what was did y'all like, I know this is the second half of the set, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what was y'all's thoughts on this compared, because this come out like 1987 is when this was made.
Yeah.
And this is like right after opera. And the first part of this was what, 73, right? 72?
Yeah.
73, yeah.
Door into Darkness. Yeah.
Door into Darkness was 73. So this is like years later. Enzo Totoro, he had gotten in trouble. A bunch of informants, some narcs, had said that he was trafficking cocaine and shit. And
lots of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. And it was weird because he's like a health nut. He didn't never drink or smoke. He's a
vegetarian. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Argento was like bemused by that because he's such a nice guy.
Right.
The story goes that someone wrote into the show and they wanted to be on the show or on one of his shows because he was a big time, obviously, presenter. Yeah, well,
yeah, it was a prison inmate who had wrote to him. Yeah,
yeah,
and sending like souvenirs and shit.
And because he wouldn't show shit on camera or on one of his shows, they just took a grudge against him. And then next thing you know, he's in prison. The fucking full lot, thrown at him. But he managed to clear his name, thank God. But
he had to do
such a well,
8 months, I think, right?
Like a bad kind of thing on his health as well, because Argento said literally. I think it was months after the series finished that he passed away.
Yeah, he died in 88. He died of lung cancer. And they were saying
never
it was
smoked. Yeah, he never smoked.
Got lung cancer. Argento was saying also that he thought it was probably air pollution is how he got it.
Which would make sense, yeah. But I mean, stress and shit that he went through don't help, does it? And anything
you can imagine, right? Especially that legal shit too. Like that much cocaine, like you're not going in there just for a couple days. Like you're going in there for like maybe a couple lifetimes.
yeah.
But the stress, no doubt. But here's the thing, though. We can probably agree to this. We don't know that dude. Don't really probably know his whole story. Everybody's got a personal life once they get home and close the door. He might have been a health nut. Probably exercised every day. Was primarily a vegetarian. Probably wanted to live forever. But if there was a drug that he could capitalize on to make the most money off of, what was it? It was going to be cocaine, right?
Especially that time. So, yeah.
I mean, the man might have had some desires to get more money because he wanted more shit. So, I mean, we could go that route too.
Yeah, we could speculate, and maybe he fucking fucked over the wrong one, So
yep.
You never know.
Who knows, man? But I mean, clear, like Darren said, at the end of the day, though, going through all that legal shit and everything, not knowing what his future was about to hold. Fuck, man. And then die of lung cancer, being diagnosed with lung cancer and not even be a fucking smoker at any point in your life. It's like, damn, man, like just goes to show you, like that shit probably just attacked his health. And he was just like, couldn't even walk away from it. Got to go back to TV for a couple months and then died.
Yeah. And Rye, so RAI, or Rye, they wanted to capitalize on the scandal. So they were like, they grabbed him. They were like, hey, let's, get your name right. Like, kind of deal. They put him on this. He had an idea for a Giallo series. So he reached out to Argento. The first part was his segment. I believe he was covering Giallo, but it was more of the literary and the cinema. But so what I was reading about it was that most people, they didn't tune into his part of it. They waited for Argento's part.
No, that's right.
I was like, damn.
I think a lot of his early, like what he wanted to cover was like the true crime, like cold cases.
Yeah.
And like Argento had like a 25 minute in between both sections. I think it was like a 2.5 hour show as well, the whole thing.
It was live too, right?
Yeah. Oh, you can tell it's live by some of those interviews with Dario, which we'll mention in a bit. But
holy shit.
No, it was a cool idea, but whether, I know it wasn't very successful. I know pretty much the night shift kind of episodes were where people were tuning in. The rest, like you said, like Dirk just said, no one was really bothering to watch. But
yeah, Argento's name, man,
different.
like at that point, this is what, 87. So like,
yeah,
think about all the films that came before. I mean, he's like the, probably one of the best sought after directors, in Italy.
100%.
And it's on TV, so shit, everybody's tuning in that shit,
I mean, hell, his name at that point was pretty much, right there with what Sergio Leone, probably at that time, Sergio Corbucci. I mean, I'm sure he was right there at the helm of the rest of those guys, but not to take away from it, but, we covered disc 1 and 2 on its individual stream, and I definitely don't want to sound like I'm putting those on a pedestal above what we're about to do now. I do like the way that this was presented. Just like anybody, I'm a sucker for especially shows like, Tales from the Dark Side, this series, you know what I mean? Like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, love all that stuff. So
that's what it reminds me of, kind of. Yeah.
Exactly. So it kind of makes me go back to that. Now, were they all great? No, but there was some in there that was so fucking good where I was just like, why didn't they just pull that to the side, save it, and make it a fucking feature film? Like, that's a 90-minute easy movie right there.
There's some great ideas.
That good.
But they 100%. Just didn't have enough time. Like, so every one of these were shot in 2 days.
Essentially.
Whereas the others, The Door in the Darkness, those were, I think, 14 days, right?
They were a little bit more careful on it, but I mean, they had hour run times on too. I mean, we're talking about like 15, 18-minute episodes here for Night Shift and Door in the Darkness, which we only got 4, but I think I don't know if it was the same thing at that time because the really budget restraints wasn't really discussed, unfortunately, on the special features, not to my knowledge of memory as we was going through it. But from what I could see from Night Shift, that was Corbucci. Sorry, I was thinking Sergio Corbucci. Luigi Cozzi and Bava himself were like, hey, the time constraints were very stressful, but they gave us so much resources that we really didn't even use half the shit on the set. Like they were just so compelled being like, hey, we're on a time, like a really bad time restraint, but there's nothing on set where it's like, oh fuck, we forgot something. Somebody go get a lighting rig. Somebody go get another camera. It's like it was all there for them.
And you could imagine
the talent was there, the extras.
It was done in lightning speed, and probably everybody's on Blocaine during this time. Like
the purest of pure,
I'm imagining anyway.
I think we were saying backstage as well, where literally they were turning up with the script like a day or two before, and sometimes even when they started shooting, he was just literally turning up on the same day. Dardano Sacchetti with the script, and he's got kind of an interesting interview on that disc as well. Because he does slag off a lot of people, but he does give credit as well to Lamberto Bava, because he was mentioning at one point that Lamberto Bava's films are like doesn't really work, with the way he like shoots long term. But he said for this format, he was superb. It was done, it really suits the way he shot and all that. But like you say, some of the extras I liked on the, I think it was disc 3. It's like 5 interviews. And it goes into depth about how they were made.
I mean, you're definitely getting a lot of shit you probably didn't like that you didn't know,
I mean, it would have been worth the set anyway if it had just been Doorway into Darkness on its own, and they'd done this as separate. But you can't go wrong if anyone's out there thinking about buying this for the price point, which must be about 30 now, Dirk, is it?
I think it's
30 US.
Is it?
Maybe. I don't know.
40, I thought it was 45, but
okay.
I think it's
UK money.
Yeah, right when they rolled it out, if you try to buy it individually and you didn't buy the bundle, I think it was like 40, 45. Like
that's what I paid for it.
It might have came maybe by now. It might be off a few dollars. We should have definitely checked that before we started. But whether this is 40, 45, or you can get that cheaper, I'm telling you, if you're an Argento fan, you're gonna get your money's worth out of this thing. When we cover Doors in the Darkness, it's only 4. We keep saying it's only 4 episodes for that series, and it's divided up between disc 1 and 2. Like, don't take away from the fact that there's just 4 episodes and that's it. Like, no. Like, this box set's got a lot more to offer. Even when you get done 2 episodes a piece on disc 1 and 2, There's so much fucking special features, especially when you got like Argento archival shit that's running like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
man. Like, it took us some time to get through this fucking set. Like, this was like, today, this was a labor of love. I'm telling you, by the time I got to like hour 4, I was like, holy shit, how much more is there to go for this one disc?
Yeah, the night shift. And they fly by. They do.
They do.
I know some people were complaining when this dropped that the television audience were saying that not the night shift itself, but the whole show, the Giallo or whatever show, that it was too talky or whatever too. So I don't know. But
it is heavy on the dialogue, especially when, you know, Darren had mentioned this the last time we did a show, when we was talking about kind of like, he made me think, I was thinking about exactly what Darren had said the last time we had done, we did this too. And it was like, hey, like, you know, whenever you say like Giallo, like no matter what, like people don't want to lean towards like when you break a rule with Giallo, like especially if you're involving like, I don't know, like ghosts and shit like that.
Yeah.
So when I was watching episode 1, and I hate to start being like, hey, let's go straight to episode 1, but basically it's so heavy on the setup of it is basically it's 9:59. It's about to turn 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And we're watching all these cab drivers get ready really quick, run to their designated cabs, and they're about to start their night shift that night, run around picking up clients. And there's a dispatch station that's telling them exactly where to go when the calls come in. So for the first segment, which is fucking so bizarre, because we literally find out as we're solving this shit as it goes along, the cab driver is like this. There's essentially 3 cab drivers, usually just 2, who's doing the majority of pointing out the killer or how the situation went awry. But she's literally sitting there saying, she was like, well, I noticed when the painter opened his door that he was left-handed, and the person who was holding the knife was left-handed.
Right.
But I also know his sister had that same necklace. And I'm like, how the fuck did you know that was his sister? It never says that in the story.
Right. That's something I was gonna say. Like, but also, man, like, how the fuck are these cab drivers making any money? You know, they're playing fucking detective all the time. You know, like,
it's the Scooby-Doo gang, right? I mean, but they're like on another level. Like they're chasing a cat, a ghost cab. That's what it's called. It's fucking. There's so much light illuminating out this bitch, and it's lighting up the whole freeway as it goes down the road, and nobody can catch this fucking thing. So it's so fucking bizarre. But I thought about Darren as soon as she was like laying it out, being like, oh, well, the necklace of the woman that was in the painting, his sister had the same one on. I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker, they didn't never say nothing about being brother and sister. That's what I thought of Darren being like, hey, you can't kind of do that because you're breaking rules when you do that. You can't just add subtext in shit because it doesn't make sense.
It definitely cheats in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, and most of them
are bizarre, aren't they? Absolutely bizarre.
Yeah. And most of them, they're all, so the way that it was when it came live on TV, they went it to a certain point, and then it'd be like it's between these 3 people is the killer, or these 4 people is the killer, and then it paused, and then it brought Enzo Tortoro back in to talk to the audience, and he was like, he let the live audience guess who the killer was, and
you got prizes. If they actually selected right or got close to it, like they gave them like prizes in the studio. It's like, what? It's like, what kind of game show is this?
I kind of wish that was on here, like the Toro.
I know, right?
I would love to have seen some of those full episodes, and it's got like a bit of a charm to it as well, because when they're coming towards the end of the episode, you hear this fake applause come in, and people are all clapping, and you can tell then that's where they cut, and they went to the audience to ask their thoughts. But
you guys noticed that
a charm, man.
Like all 15 episodes, they did like right when they did the applause. They did like the studio applause, like Darren's saying. They made sure that no matter what, at the end of each episode, they did a freeze frame of all the cab drivers who was like standing around. Like, remember they were like toasting champagne and they froze it right at that moment. You're like, dude, like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like Dirk said, how the fuck are these guys even making any money driving cabs? Because like literally, even detectives are like, so exactly how did you solve this crime? And it's like, why are you asking the fucking cab driver that?
Like, and why the fuck are so personally, I drove a cab for about, I don't know, 5 months when I was 18 years old, and I did work the night shift, and so it is true, like the cabbies, on the radios and shit, you could communicate with the police and everything, but I mean, it's kind of bizarre. I mean, I wasn't running around like fucking playing detective and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They kind of
It
like
was some sketchy shit driving a cab, and that's why I got out of it. But
yeah. I don't know if anyone's seen the old episodes of like Heart to Heart and episodes like that where they go on these crime and they go. It's kind of like that, got that feel to it.
And then one of the episodes, which I know we're going to get into it here in a minute, but like one of the episodes reminded me of a motherfucking Italian Hallmark show or something. Like Hallmark.
Oh, the Christmas.
Yeah.
Is it the Christmas
real
episode?
Fucking everybody
They'll hug at the
and over exaggerated fucking smiling and shit going on. What the fuck is going on here, man? But,
they are definitely hit or miss, and there's quite a few hits in there, I think, as well. Hopefully you.
But
you
that episode is great because you see, Asia Argento and Dario Nickelodeon.
Man, and you got to think like Antonella Vitali as well was Dario's girlfriend at the time.
Yep.
So that would have been awkward. I would have.
And she's front and center in all.
Yeah.
It's like a John Carpenter situation, right? Like the Sandy King, Adria Barbeau, John Carpenter situation too.
Right.
Like remember the fog, the story of that, and then going past it, it was like, wait a minute, Sandy King still produced all of John Carpenter's shit while he was fucking Barbeau.
And the weird thing about it as well, in those TV kind of in the next series as well, Nightmares, Catalina Cataldi she was his girlfriend at one point as well.
Oh yeah,
Dario. And she's brilliant. When we come on to that, I will say, even though she does fuck all in the background, she's just like
she's a fucking weirdo in the background. Like they're definitely
I think it
hot,
works,
man.
I think
that's what I'm thinking. Like they're on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, baby.
Maybe, yeah.
That blocaine, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of the fucking cocaine that Enzo had, probably.
So we can all three collectively say that we are pretty safe saying that Argento at one point in time of his life was definitely slinging some dick around, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he's even admitted that because he went through a stage, I think, where he was just drinking, he was doing drugs, everything. And I know a lot of people can't believe he's like 85 or whatever he is now because he's lived that long. But he did everything.
Yeah, and he got arrested with heroin, right?
Yeah. And I guess, like you say, he was juggling so many things at this time as well. He was doing the segments for Nightmares. He just come off doing opera. And he was trying to, even though he wasn't on set with the night shift episodes, he was still trying to like give his insight and help with that as well. So you can imagine it was just hectic and they needed something to keep him awake, to keep him going. But
he looked sleep deprived for sure.
Yeah.
But man,
go
ahead.
I was going to say, as I was watching that interview with Luigi Cozzi, he said that as soon as Bava had stepped out because he had another obligation, actually had two more obligations to go do at the same time. So Bava had pretty much directed the first 5 or 6 of Night Shift, and it was Cozzi that was coming in to do the final 9. So Cozzi had the biggest bulk of this series left to do. But he said when he came in, though, that Argento had approached him. And the reason why Argento approached him is, one, because, of course, of their friendship, which was a really good, close friendship. I think Cozzi was pretty much his first assistant after he had done The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So their friendship was pretty much solidified for a good amount of time. But, he said he pretty much approached him, too, because it had Argento's name on it. And since RAI was involved in it, they wouldn't just, Argento was just going to give it to somebody he didn't trust and was like, hey, just phone it in, make it work. Doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be great. Just make something work. Like he actually did. He made sure he picked Bava and Cozzi whenever Bava couldn't do it because of their friendships and their trust. So he definitely didn't reach outside the fence, like where it was like, oh shit, we still got 9 more episodes to go. Bava's ducking the fuck out of here. Let me just fucking call some random number.
Cozzi's his first assistant director too, right? So
there you go.
We got Pope Matthias Papsmere says, I highly recommend from Severin, Tales to Keep You Awake, The Spanish Twilight Zone, a lot of stories by Ray Bradbury, Poe, and Robert Bloch. Awesome. Yeah, man, Ray Bradbury, dude, that was my staple when I was growing up. Like,
Dirk, I just picked that up, man, and believe it or not, dude, I think it's I hope it's a 2-disc set at least. But man, when I flipped that bitch over, I still haven't opened it up yet. I bought it because Zuli was like, hey, like exactly what he just said. I heard this is kind of like more like the Spanish version of the Twilight Zone. We should definitely check it out. And I'm like, it's Severin. You ain't got to tell me twice. Yeah. I looked at the runtime on the back of that shit, dude. Holy fuck, dude. It's going to take me 2 weeks to watch it. It's over 1,000 minutes.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, God damn. What's going on here? I thought this was like maybe like a thing where it had like 6 episodes on it. Maybe few special features. Nah, it's a whole fucking series, man. It's like watching The Sopranos all over again.
Damn it, man. We got Culture Trini in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Trini?
Yeah, good to see you in here, man. And Popathias says Argento was the Donatello Juan of Rome in the 90s. I believe it, man. Like
he's laying it smooth.
It is the great release every episode. It is a great release every episode. Awesome. Yeah.
Can't wait to check it out, man.
Jimmy says to touch on Dario and Daria and Dario's relationship. I actually read somewhere that she stopped wanting to work with Dario because as their breakup was underway, he was killing her more violently in each film. Well, he did kill her violently, but like, I don't think that's why they broke up. You can elaborate on that, huh, Darren?
I don't really know. I think because Dario, like you say, back in the, because they were rumored to have broke up at one stage,
I think it was
really early on.
I think it started with Suspiria, though, right?
Yeah. But they got back together.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I think it was Phenomena where, he's literally trying to kill her off, and then you got Opera, exactly the same.
Yeah, Opera, she thought he was like really trying to kill her.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With that fucking explosive in the back of her head, like the little impact deal, or whatever. The squib.
But people make the mistake of thinking they were married, but they were never married.
No, they weren't
just
married.
together with, and they obviously.
Oh shit, they were never married. Fuck, I thought they were. Shit, man.
No.
There you go. More you learn right there.
He was married once, and then that was the chick that during Four Flies, and then they that whole story in the theater.
He told her right in the theater. Yeah, right in the theater. He's like, "Why do you hate me so much?" Kind of thing. Yeah, it's fucking bizarre, man. But Darren, like you said, what was that whole thing, man? Like I remember when Panico came out, there was that whole thing where Asia Argento is talking to the producer of the show, and she's saying that what had kind of from what I gathered, she was trying to say that what started the biggest wedge between Daria and Dario was whenever Suspiria was written, there was almost like this personal jab of the context of that storyline for a specific character of Suspiria, right? So apparently, I guess that was Argento writing that part for her, but instead gave it to Jessica instead.
She was pissed.
She wanted
never
that
got
part.
over that. Right,
and also
the day she died. She
didn't get enough credit because she claims that her grandmother told her that story, that her grandmother was at a school like that in Germany, and where it was a school of witches, and that's where they got the idea from. And
gotcha.
She never got enough credit. That's what I got from it. Like,
she was pissed never got the lead role of Jessica Harper. That was the main thing.
That's what I gathered from it too. But like you just said too, it's like her personal memory of like this very personal story her grandmother had told her at this bizarre moment in her life, and like Dario was like, "Oh shit, I know what my next movie is, bitch."
But if you hear them both talk about it, he's like, "No, that wasn't the case." It's like, I don't know.
Dario hated to give credit to people, but case in point, right, with this series. Yeah. So Sacchetti actually come out with the idea. They were in this big meeting, and he comes out with the idea we can set it around a bunch of taxi drivers and all that, and everyone in the room's kind of, we'll go with this. Dario was pissed, man. He took him to one side. He said, "Look, you should have told me first so I can come to the producers and tell them that." So he didn't like anyone getting credit, but as it happened, he went with it, and I think it's a decent series. I know we're going to go through every episode probably.
But we got Jimmy says, "Yeah, I remember that. I heard that they wanted an American actress to carry the film, and it was supposed to go to Daria." And because he had seen De Palma's film is why he wanted Harper.
Oh shit! I'm trying to think of what De Palma film it was too. Was that crazy?
Phantom of the Paradise.
There you go. Yeah, man. God, what a movie.
Popathias says Asia Argento, The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, is a good movie. She jams Subhumans, The Day the Country Died tape in that one. Dude, to me, that's her best performance. That is, and it's a disturbing film, especially if you know all the backstory after.
Yeah.
Which I won't go into here, but like just search it out if you're interested, man. Like The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things. She directed it, and she's a fucked up mother in that one, big time. Yeah, it's a hard.
God damn, man.
It's a hard film.
You always get my curiosity going with some shit. Now I'm like, goddamn it, I ain't never seen that movie. I really want to see it now.
Yeah.
Oh man, she directed Scarlet Diva as well. I know I mentioned
Scarlet Diva, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she got talent, man. She's,
she does.
Obviously, her father's one of the best directors ever. But
what was the film that she said in Panico that she had turned down to do with her father because she went to go direct her own film, and then like she didn't speak to her father for a couple of years because
that's what it was.
Turmoil.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. I think it was Scarlet Diva, and I think it was Sleepless was the film that he wanted her. Like 2001, I think it was kind of around that era.
Yeah. But yeah, man, if y'all want to get into it, we can get into it. I know we've kind of just kind of setting it up, letting everybody know what we're getting into here. But so the first episode, I guess, this Turno di Notte or Night Shift.
Death is in fact. Well, Death is in fashion, I believe. Oh, yeah, you read the title card. Look at you go, man. God damn. All right, then. Shit. I thought you were going to be like rolling straight into it.
Yeah, it's Death in fashion.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, and it's cool, like how the intro starts. It's like the clock's on 9:59, and it's some old school clocks. I remember those clocks when I was a kid. Like, and it flips, but it goes to 10 o'clock, and you see all these cabbies, and it's super weird though. Like you see the Rosso on the one cab. That's definitely a nod to Deep Red, right?
Profondo Rosso.
Yeah, and but so. You want to kick it off, Darren?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. I am going to say like the cast as well, really. So you've got one of the young taxi drivers, a guy called Matteo Gazzolo. He plays Rosso 27, like you said. He was in Body Puzzle, House of Lost Souls.
That's the one I've seen. He's such a weirdo in that one because of the dubbing. Like
he kind of looks a bit like Michelle Suave to me. Like I can't get that out of my mind.
But he does that same kind of shit that he does in this series, where he's like, oh, it's because of this and this and this, like except he's fucking dead wrong in that one, And
apparently, I think his father was like a famous. He might have been a famous actor as well, but he was really nervous, but apparently playing the part, and he was just kind of just getting into acting.
Okay.
I think he does a good job.
He does okay.
Yeah.
What about the one guy? Like, so we got Franco Seri, he plays Tango 28, and he's in 2 episodes.
You see him on every intro, though. Like you see him on
exactly.
Isn't he, with the glasses and
I
wonder whether that because they just realized that maybe his episodes didn't work, so they didn't really.
Primarily, the only episode where he got the most screen time was with the kidnapping of the baby.
Yeah,
that was like his most
decent one. Yeah.
It was a decent one, and that was like the most he got his screen time for. The rest of it's like at the final end of the episode where they're like, "Well, how did you guess that? How did you know that?"
Yeah, they all meet up,
only screen time.
Popping champagne and shit.
Yep.
High fiving the fucking police. Got another one for you. We're doing your job for you over there.
Exactly, right? Like, what the fuck, man? How's those cops and detectives even keep a job with those motherfuckers around?
Right.
But what's interesting about this as well, obviously you've got Antonella Vitali. She plays Calypso 9. She's a woman taxi driver. She was in Opera and The Church.
Church, definitely.
But this first episode, you've got David Brandon. And obviously people know him from, Stage Fright, Delirium, Beyond Darkness. So you've got this cab driver, Rosso 27. He starts his night shift. He's called to a pickup at a hotel, and he witnesses what looks to be like a suicide. A woman falls from the top of a building.
But it's so damn obvious, right? Like when I first seen it,
right?
When I first watched it, you see the body, you see this woman fall from a building, and he's like in his cab, and she hits the fucking street. And then you see a teddy bear fall.
And
you're
like seconds later.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
And that's the clue that actually solves the case pretty much in the end. But she's a fashion model, which I kind of like. All that it goes back to the the early kind of 80s Giallo.
Goes back to Baba, right? Blood and Black Lace.
Blood and Black Lace. Absolutely,
Shit.
And that's probably what they were actually thinking of as well.
You think Lamberto started it off, right? So
it may well have been a nod to that, yeah. But you've got the whole pink teddy bear at the scene, and he picks up this fashion model from the hotel. She wants to go back for the kind of Lucky Charm teddy bear.
She's deeply unnerved about something.
Yeah, something's troubling her, and he basically goes back, doesn't he? And he goes,
all these cab drivers are the nicest fucking cab drivers you ever meet.
Exactly. Just a random moment. They just cut their shit on her. Like, I'll pick this up. But remember when he goes to go back to get, because she's the model's literally like, I'm not going to walk the walkway unless I have my lucky souvenir. You know, that fucking teddy bear. Yeah. But remember, he gives all three of these motherfuckers like a ride back as he goes back to go pick it up. And then they start talking in the back seat, and it's like, ooh, like shit's getting weird. You know what I mean?
And that's the red herrings, right? The three.
Yep.
So like each one of these episodes is going to be like that. There's going to be like three possible killers. Yeah.
It's formulaic. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You know, obviously with the openings and all that and the end. I don't know what was, because I don't, you know, we're not going to give away any of the killers or any of the mysteries in these. But what were your thoughts on this opening episode?
It got me into it. Like, I was like, cool, okay, this is gonna be cool. I dug it, and it flew by, dude. Like, what's 15 minutes?
Something lightning fast. Yeah.
But the only gripe I have about these are, it's like right when it's getting good, it's fucking over with. It's like at the end, and then you're like, fuck, you know, like, damn. Like Johnny had mentioned that to me too, and I agree, man. Like, some of these could have been made into a feature film and fleshed out a little, but they only had 2 days to shoot each one of these. So you know.
This introduces the Phantom Cab as well, like you said, the kind of reoccurring thing that goes on throughout the whole series and comes to I think, a decent conclusion at the end. I know it's a bit far out, but
he's like, nah.
No,
I don't like that shit. I'm fucking pissed off when I saw that. Like,
it's kind of hard as well. When we come onto that episode, it's kind of hard to work out what's going on too. Is it an alien or whatever? But I mean, I just went with it. You
got this running theme though that's building on each episode, like, you know, and then that's what it is. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
It's like Dirk's like hijinks of amnesia. It's like, wait a minute, they wake up. I'm not even gonna give it away, but they wake up and they're like, wait a minute, did I dream that, or was there three women that was sitting here? One of them was supposed to be an alien.
Right.
I was thinking, what the fuck, when I was watching it, but I mean, like you said, they just go by so quickly, and it is entertaining. If anything else, that episode of it.
It is. It's just some of that shit. Is like, damn. I just because I was listening to Argento talking about it. It was like one of the reasons he gave for not wanting to do any of them was, he's like, the stories were too straightforward, and he's not really interested in that type of material. And I was like, okay.
I know, which is crazy, man. But I think this is like a solid 6 out of 10. Good start, you know, nothing amazing. I think all the episodes for me went from like a 4 out of 10 to a 7. Nothing really peaked over a 7 for me. But there was a few 7s, which I'll come into.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a good solid one, I think. Yeah,
man, damn good strong start, man. Like Dirk even said, man, it's like one of those things where you don't kind of really know what you're getting into, because this is a whole other entity from what we've already been introduced in that set from, especially from Door into Darkness. Now we're going to like fucking 15-minute episodes, which is like, hey, they got to churn that shit out fast. You got to pay attention, because in a split second, you're probably not going to be able to hang on. But then again, they did cheat a little bit too. Like, we all saw a few of those episodes where we were like, all right, man, like,
these are some of the envelope. But these cab drivers got like psychic powers and shit too, I guess, you know.
Right.
But like, you know, I mean, not really, but I mean, yeah, really. I mean, how are they gonna know some of this shit? There's no.
It's like a premonition or something that's like not even spoken of in the series, where you're like, wait a minute, like, goddamn, like, how observant can one individual be?
Right.
He'll be on a job, and then this Phantom Cab will appear from nowhere, and then he goes chasing it for like fucking 20-30 minutes, like you say, you know, going home empty-handed basically as well.
Yeah,
but
it's like,
I do actually think
I'm just gonna, you know,
I'm
not worried about no money, you know. I'm just gonna try to help everybody out,
investigate some of these bizarre fucking plots and
the dispatchers
shit.
don't even give a fuck, right? Like every time, because they're so vocal of getting on the dispatch radio, and they're like, "Hey, like dispatch, like I fucking found the ghost cab," and they're kind of at the studio, kind of like not the studio, but at the actual depot, and they're kind of like, "Oh, like another sighting," and yada yada yada, and this like Darren said, this motherfucker's out there not picking up no fare at all. He's out there just running up and down the street, like chasing this fucking cab that he can never catch, who always disappears at like random moments. And they're just like, yeah, go catch it. Like, fuck making money tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's
Don't worry about that shit.
all
You
the
only
women
got
on the
about 20
radio,
calls
like,
in, you know? Like,
yeah, everyone's so fucking happy, like Dirk said. They're just like, you know, it's just got a charm, man. I know I said it before.
Yeah, it does.
I do actually think. Go on.
No, just random memory. So involving the ghost cab, like anyway, we get further down the series, which I'm not going to give away nothing, but of course, the ghost cab is kind of like seen at the actual depot where it's like hidden in the back. And do you remember the dispatchers? Like, there's 3 dispatchers sitting there. There's 3 girls lined up taking calls in for people who need to be picked up, and then getting on the radio saying, "Hey, go to this address." Well, 2 of the bitches like pop up at the same time, and they tell this one girl while all the phones are ringing, like, "Hey, take care of those phones. We're gonna go look at this ghost cab."
Yeah, we're gonna go check this
Like,
shit out.
Yeah, it's a bizarre storyline, but yeah. I mean,
Papa
what were they thinking when they were doing that?
Popa Thias says, Pap Smear says, Vinegar Syndrome released it recently. Are you talking about Scarlet Diva or The Heart is Deceitful? Because if they got that one, I'm going to have to pick it up. I got Scarlet Diva.
See that. I think that's
I
on
got
YouTube.
Scarlet Diva, though.
Yeah.
So who released Scarlet Diva? Was that Vinegar Syndrome? Like
Vinegar.
you said?
Yeah, Vinegar.
Okay.
But The Heart is Deceitful is the one that I need to pick up. I think that's Asia Argento's best performance, hands down.
Didn't they do like a limited run on Scarlet Diva though, and it was sold out or something? I'm sure.
Yeah, I grabbed it. I got that.
Yeah.
Well, who has The Heart is Deceitful right now?
I'm not sure. That's why I was asking.
Studio?
Is that the one he's talking about, or is he talking about Scarlet Diva?
It's going to be hard to actually release that, knowing the backstory with the boy and Asia Argento.
It's got a release. I just can't remember who put that one out, but maybe it's Vinegar.
So, yeah, maybe that's gone out to print as well because of what happened. But
Popa Thias says De Palma had to have been influenced by Argento, even though he has always said that he is not a fan of schlock horror. Definitely, man.
Amen.
I think so.
And vice versa too. It works both ways.
Argento definitely. Yeah.
Tenebrae, you know, dressed.
We got Chubbs in here. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Chubbs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. De Palma has stuck with that shit though. He's like, I've never seen none of his movies when I did Dress to Kill, and you're like, dude, like, you lean really fucking hard.
See, Carpenter admitted that he's seen.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff in Suspiria that, like, you can see in Halloween, the original Halloween. There's I'm blanking on the whole thing right at I think it has to do with the door, the glass door, something. I can't remember.
And you got the same track as well. I think you pinched a bit of that too.
It does sound similar.
De Palma, though, he was in the film club with Scorsese, and they would regularly go in the early 70s to these grindhouses and watch these Giallo films. Mm-hmm. And I think Scorsese or someone actually said that too. So I don't know whether De Palma's just playing,
Scorsese knew about him.
Yeah,
most people knew about him. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Most of the big directors.
I think for me though, for me, the series kicks off really well with the next episode. I really like Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this could have been a feature length, I think, as well.
And you got you got that guy's name. He's in Demons as well.
And Opera.
Peter
and
Pitch.
Opera.
Yeah.
Drug addict. Yeah.
You'll Die at Midnight. He was in too. Very well known.
Okay.
You can tell just by his face.
For anybody who's ever seen Demons, he is the actual one that we're discussing here, who actually takes the razor blade and cuts the bitch on her titty while he's trying to scrape up the cocaine residue on her titty.
Yeah, he's one of the punks in the car. Yeah.
He's an abusive cocaine addict or drug addict in this one too. Like, so.
And of course, you've got Franca Scagnetti. She's the cat lady in this one. She was in Suspiria. She's got she was one of the witches in Suspiria. She's got the iconic.
The heavy set one.
Yeah, when he's going down the corridor, or she's going down the corridor, Susie Kendall, and she sees this woman with a boy, and that's the iconic
fucking meat cleaver. right?
She was well known for like comedies. I was hearing.
I can see
watching
that.
as
That's
well.
what I heard him
Yeah.
say too. I was like, wait a minute, she was in comedy, and apparently, like,
Yeah, man,
they all
yeah.
loved her so much from the comedy days. They're like, we got to have her for horror, and I'm like, whew, talking about two worlds that
she
don't
could go
mix
either
well.
way. Yeah, the way she
Yeah, but
looks.
she did
But
a
it's
great job.
really-
Look at Suspiria, man.
Mhm.
It's really good to see some of these actors popping up in some of these
It
episodes.
is, man. You see a lot
You
of
mark out a little bit, don't you? Knowing
Yeah.
you know that you've seen them in the past. Do you want me to
Not to
go
mention
through the
too,
story? Or?
the guy who's I've seen him in a couple of the one or two of the episodes of Night Shift, but also in the Argento's Nightmares. If you watch Demons, the guy who's actually driving the car, who actually is giving everybody the cocaine inside the Coca-Cola can.
Oh,
he's
Lino
all-
Salim. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
there
looks
you
like
go.
fucking
He's all-
Sly
he's
Stallone,
all-
doesn't he? He's like a
Yeah.
Rocky lookalike.
He's all
Yeah,
He's in a bunch of
he's-
shit too.
super
Oh, yeah.
agitated in Demons, right? Like fucking, fucking tripping on the fucking up the cocaine and shit.
His
Yeah,
fucking
man, they
episode in
spill a bunch of
Nightmares,
coke, man.
with the goofy looking mouth. I know we're gonna come on to that, but yeah, that episode is crazy, man.
Yeah, fucking shit. But
I was pissing myself laughing at the fucking effects in that, man.
that
But
fucking dog, man, we're all over the place, but it don't matter.
no, we'll come on to
Yeah.
it. We'll come on to all that.
Yeah.
But this one, so you get Calypso 9 is called out to a job, and she sees this couple and they're fighting in the window. You see the silhouette of this couple. Her face shows up, and it's this guy dressed in leather. He's kind of like a heavy metal type. She drives him to the snack bar where he has this altercation, doesn't he? About, I think he's trying to sell something to,
Jewelry.
probably jewelry and that, which all becomes linked to the story anyway. But yeah, this one kind of I don't know, this was my thing because I'd seen this. This is actually on one of the old Demons DVDs, and they show like I think it's only 7 minutes of this they showed. So I was kind of familiar with it. Yeah. And it's one of the most well-known, I think, episodes that people talk about to this day from the series.
Yeah.
But no, this could have been could have been like a full-length Giallo film to me.
And again, we got
It's
another
good.
like Calypso 9 or whatever. She's super nosy.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking time, man. Like everyone.
You gotta like the twist of this as well. I'm not gonna give it away, but
yeah,
pretty much to say, this guy, he goes back, he hasn't got the fare, he goes back to his place to get the fare to pay the taxi, but she goes snooping around and she ends up seeing him, and he's been killed. I think it's like a knife, killed by a knife. And then shit gets crazy then because we got other characters coming into it with the cat lady and the fucking guy who's the painter. Yeah,
Yep.
and then you get this whole thing at the end, like, how did you know that was the killer? And then the whole explanation that she gives, and it's just like, yeah, right.
Some of them are like far out, those explanations, but you've got to take you with
exactly.
a pinch of salt, haven't you?
Right.
It was so fucking good though, man. Like the setup was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, and even though we got to keep in mind this is only 15 minutes, so we're not going to get that whole thing where it's like, okay, shake it up a little bit, let it sit before we pop it open and let it spew everywhere. Like we immediately got to shake this bitch up and open it really quick.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling I got from it. And fuck, even though it was only 15 minutes, I loved it, man. Little sparse on the writing because it's like, wait a minute, how the fuck does that bitch know that dude's sister is her and all this shit? And you're like, there's the random guy we got to meet a moment before we see the killer.
That's
she's
another
already
part
deduced
of it
that he has a sibling.
That's another part of it I don't like. That's one thing that brings it down in a lot of these is you don't, like in the typical Giallo, you usually see the killer at least 50% of the movie. And it's not like this in here. It's like
even
subliminally, like 30 seconds, and then it's like, what the fuck? And you're like, what the fuck, man?
They give you 3 options, don't they? And they make one so obvious that it's not. So you're pretty much gonna guess every single episode, but it doesn't take anything away from it.
No, I don't. It don't. You know what you're getting into. This is not top tier shit.
But it is a really good fucking episode though. Like Darren said, like you start the first one off, like when we got to that, and I mean, don't get me wrong, fucking Death in Fashion is great. What is it? Yes, Death is in Fashion. But man, when we get to fucking heavy metal, like I said, man, It's like shaking up a fucking drink and just open it up really quick. Like it's ready to rock and
This
roll.
one that's playing like Flash of the Blade and Saxon.
Yeah, it does in one
Yeah.
scene.
Just like in Demons and Phenomena and shit, you know.
That happens a bit in some of these episodes. You get like the opera, I think, at one point, some of the same tracks of that, and like
Suspiria was used on the final episode for the witch.
Yeah,
was used in there.
Suspiria. Yeah. The fucking. Also, you get a cue from Hitchcock's Psycho in one of these, and it's
at least I think there's a few actually. Yeah.
Okay, I noticed it in one.
He took from Rear Window. I know that for a fact. Like he literally took from it, and I was like, "Damn!" Like that was obvious, but it was like not one of those things where it's like, "Oh, I stole and tried to sneak it." It was more like him like tipping his hat, being like, "Fuck yeah, that's my shit." Yeah.
That Rear Window episode in the next series, kind of reminds me of like he went on to make "Do You Like Hitchcock?" and I'm pretty sure that's where he got the idea.
That's what I was thinking.
That. Yeah,
I was thinking.
I still gotta watch that, man.
Yep.
I still gotta watch it, man.
Yeah.
And the one with Luigi Cotti, mine with Paganini. He actually said that he'd already wrote his horror film he was going to produce, which come out a little bit later, Paganini Horror. So there's kind of that as well. But he said,
he just put the Jim Morrison song in instead to make it modern.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of these are like sketches, pretty much for later works, like Darren's saying. Yeah. For sure.
No, I think that's probably the high point for me was heavy metal. At least one of them. There's a few more I think are just as good, but it's up there for me.
I guess we could get into a good ending, a better beginning.
Right. Yeah, this one's an interesting one.
Interesting, huh? I thought it was kind of bad.
So you've got
it's silly as fuck if you think about it.
It is. It's completely bizarre. Everything that happens in this episode. You've got Maurice Poley plays this restaurateur. Again, he was a well-known actor. Bava knew him really well. He was in $5 for an August Moon for his father, Rabid Dogs, Baron Blood. He'd done a couple of Fulcis as well. He did The Murder Secret and Touch of Death. So you've got Calypso 9. She's called out to this New Year's party. There, a man, Dadani, has been shot dead and left with like mistletoe in his mouth. The thing is, the room was kind of locked from the inside, so we can't work out why or how this happened, or obviously you get a conclusion in the end. Yeah, this was kind of fucking weird, man. This one, it just nothing in it seemed realistic to any level, But
it's all over the place. He's got the dude's dead. There's a guy dead. You see. This is the one, right, where the dude gets shot. He's got the mistletoe. He's got the mistletoe in his mouth. And so he gets shot. It's New Year's Eve, ain't it? I believe.
It's New Year's Eve, yeah.
New Year's Eve, he gets shot exactly the same time, like the fireworks are going off and champagne bottles are getting popped. It's cool how it shows it, though. I like it shows that's a Beretta. There's no doubt. That's a Beretta you see with the champagne popping at the same time. He gets shot in the head. It does look good, the special effects. He gets shot in the head, and he's got the mistletoe in his mouth and shit, and the drinks are all scattered. But it's very convoluted.
It's fucking weird. So you've got her. She goes back to this party, Calypso. Was it Calypso 9? And then she starts fucking dancing with people she don't even know. There's just no way.
It's like it's New Year's Eve for me too.
Yeah. So she's
you're gonna drink while you're driving a cab.
Don't she say I'm gonna be like 10 minutes as well, or something to the people on the radio, or something bizarre like that?
Yeah.
Anyway, she kind of stumbles upon this murder. She's watching everything that's going on, and like any of the other episodes, really, she fucking works it out and shit.
I mean, to be fair though, like when you drive a cab, all you have to have, all the money that you have to have is for the rental of the cab for that night.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like how you're your own boss kind of deal. So it is legit that they could actually do what they're doing. It's just weird.
Before meters came into play that showed the distance between point A and point B for your passenger. I mean, like you guys were saying, like the whole thing with like, she's literally walking in dancing with strangers. Like we already know, she already knows that there's a horrible incident that's done happen. Now maybe she's dancing with them just to kind of like make everybody think she's just okay. Well, I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm just gonna go mingle.
Yeah.
And then eventually she lines up to the door.
Undercover.
The worst thing about this fucking episode, man, and it was done in a way where you guys mentioned a little bit ago, but like Blood and Black Lace, where we're seeing, which is basically a Patreon at this party, but it's like this older lady, and she's sitting there deducing one thing after the next verbally right in front of people that she's accusing. That shit got so old so quick because you're like, okay, well, bitch, you know so much. Either you killed this motherfucker or you literally saw who did it. You just ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she didn't see shit because she's just guessing shit. Like she's guessing a narrative that's just gonna, fulfill her destiny on like being big shit. You know what I mean?
And she's the obvious red herring to me. Like
exactly. But man, she fucking killed this episode for me. I think if it wouldn't have been for her, and not even the whole mistletoe in the mouth shit, him dead, fucking face down on a bowl and a big ass fish in front of him. That shit's all great to me. The setting's great. But it was that character, man. That little red herring, like you said, man, like that shit it drove me nuts, man. I was just like, she's killing it. She's just fucking killing it, killing the vibe for the whole show for me, man. But yeah, thankfully she wasn't around long.
No, I've literally got in my notes that this was boring, and I know it's 15 minutes long, and even that was boring, you know. Definitely, like I think this is probably the worst one. I put it as like 4 out of 10. I think I was being generous of that, you know.
Yeah, it's hard for me to rate these, really. You know?
Like, I didn't really rate the next series. I kind of rated these, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, at the end we can say our favorites and what have you.
Yeah. But
I was thinking going into the next one now, are they all gonna fucking go downhill? Because you just don't know. But I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, when we get to episode number 4 right here, holy fuck! Like Darren said, heavy metal. Episode 2 was his banger. Fucking this one coming up was my goddamn banger for this whole thing right here. It's great.
All right. Well, I got a different one than y'all two.
Agree.
But I'm not going to mention
shit.
I'm not going to mention it yet.
Hell yeah.
This could have another one. I keep saying it. This could have been a full-length Giallo. I think the storyline and everything
starts out with the ghost cab, right?
Yep.
I think it does. Yeah.
Immediately starts out with it. Yep.
Yeah. And you've got Lino Salim in this one as well, like Johnny said, the Rocky look-alike.
And so I'll kind of set it up a little bit, but it starts out with the ghost cab. He's following it, and then you see this woman just come screaming, like she's got marks on her face, and she's come. It reminded me of Door in the Darkness, one of the episodes, kind of like with the way
the eyewitness. Yeah, definitely.
And the way the woman comes. And at first I thought it was the chick from Hellraiser. She looks kind of like the daughter, in Hellraiser, but it's not. It's the chick from that Pathos movie that we covered,
Obsession and Taste of Fear.
Yeah.
Viola Scola is her name. She was in Too Beautiful to Die as well.
She's beautiful.
Never good Giallo. Oh man,
But seeing her like, and this is not the greatest quality, but she does look kind of like that chick from Hellraiser. She looks
pretty good. Still a good woman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's probably the best actress in any of these. I think the way she comes running out, I think she does really well.
I gotta disagree on that one.
Okay, that's interesting.
When we get to episode 8, that's the best actress, Corinne Clary.
That's another good one. Yeah.
That's you got Dario Nickelodeon in this bitch too, you know. So
oh boy.
But she hasn't got a lot to do in the episode, to be honest.
Right.
But no, like you say, you start off with the ghost cab in this one. Russell 27. He goes to like get a coffee during his night shift. The owner. Did you notice the guy? I think he's uncredited, but the owner of that cafe is the guy. The old sleazy guy from A Sister of Ursula. Did you notice that, Dirk?
Oh, shit. It's been a while since I've seen
it. I fucking knew his face, and it was bugging me. And then it just come to me when I was looking for my collection. I think Sister of Ursula. But yeah, so it's always nice to see these guys pop up and that. On a killer in a red jacket at large. pretty much comes out when there's a full moon, I think, is the storyline too. Or is that the storyline?
Because it's like, how dare you and your boyfriend meet in a park while there's a full moon out, and you're like, wait a minute, is there a fucking law that's saying like I can't go to the fucking park?
Yeah.
What are you scared of? Werewolves? Like, what the fuck?
Don't you know that the full moon, like crazy people come out?
Look, I love this shit, guys. That just to kind of like break down a little bit more for everybody who's watching this shit. These cab drivers who are literally, they're cab drivers, but for some reason they're just happen to be expert detectives. This motherfucker finds a dead body on the ground. His first thought is to run over, move the body to see if the ground is wet underneath the body because sprinklers are on. And he's trying to deduce a time when this motherfucker was killed. And I'm like, what?
Like schoolboy error as well, considering he's this fucking investigative, guy who's kind of like, solves all these cases. He's a med student.
He's like a med student, right? Like actively too. So I'm like, okay, like I don't think they teach you this shit in med school, but I mean, I thought the coroner's office took over this shit.
Rule number 1, you're not supposed to touch the body, right?
Don't touch shit, especially the body.
Don't touch a fucking thing.
But pretty much the victim's lying there with like a knife in his stomach.
Oh, it's great. I put it in the intro.
It's great.
Like, it looks good. That's a good shot when the cab comes pulling up and you see that dead body with that big ass, huge, abnormally huge fucking butcher knife. In the
huge. But man, the not only the transition shot of that shit from the cab to what we see laid on the ground, man, that fucking transition shot in that setting, holy fuck, man, it looks so good. It's 100% what I would say movie quality. Like, you can watch a lot of these episodes, and you'd be like, hey, that one right there kind of sticks out. And I think whoever fucking directed that just happened to be Bava. He could have turned that into a fucking movie with a little bit of help of a script writer.
Yeah,
100%.
Agree, but you've got the killer who's all in red in this one. I think like the red jacket's been discarded in the bushes at one point. You've got the other guy, this other crazy guy shows up as well. And we start to think it's maybe him that's done it. And there's a few twists and turns in this one, but yeah, this is up there. This heavy metal are both.
These are easy to figure out though. Like when you say,
yeah. And that formula you was talking about earlier, like in this one is so bold too, because whenever they have the police lineup, he's literally got one suspect under the letter A, next B, next C. And you're like, God damn, it's like the trifecta for every episode.
Yeah, it's a rinse and repeat, man. You got 3 choices. Who's it going to be? Studio audience,
I mean, you've got to love Lino Salim as well. He plays the thief, doesn't he, in the lineup?
Yeah, man.
He's fucking superb in Demons, and I think he was actually in Demons too as well as a security guard.
Yep.
He come back and then 2 of them, but yeah, it's brilliant. And he pops up like Johnny said in the next series too, in that fucking bizarre episode. Which will
just think he's like fucking. I mean, we got the killer right, but he is. If I'd say a little bit more guilty than a killer, because he literally took the wallet off a person who was already a victim of a crime and who was dead. So it's like, dude, God damn, dude, how low can you sink?
But you've got to love, like, we're not going to give it away, but you've got to love the way they actually figure out who the killer is in this one too.
Yeah,
it just adds to it. I think
it's just like, get the fuck out of here.
And the thing is, these policemen, they show up at the end of all these episodes, and they're so fucking thick that he can't even like fucking work it out himself. He needs the help of these fucking
the detective always needs help from the cabbie.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
They're literally looking at him and being like, how did you deduce who the killer was? And then they go through it and they're like, God, that's a great job. And it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing being a cop?
And it kind of works out that you realize that fucking Sacchetti was making it up as he went, like on the same day even. And you can tell in a lot of
you can tell, a lot of this is rush production.
Rush. Especially that script, man. Like you said, like that rinse and repeat formula you was talking about with this whole trifecta being. So not only do you got that, man, but not only that, but they're so fucking stressed for time. Where literally, man, I think they were watching the previous episode while they were writing the new script for the next episode. They were just like, we'll just change where they're at, what street they're on, what crime it is, and we'll keep the same formula. And that's kind of like, for the most part, it's with it. Not every episode, but damn near it though. But still, a banger of an episode. It just needed more clever writing. Like if we would have had somebody. Fuck, man, like, come on, like, get Argento to write a fucking 90-minute script for that, or even Bava himself. He could have called that shit Blood in the Red Jacket part 1 or part 2, I'd have been like, fuck, I want to watch that. But yeah, it was really good. Just the writing needs to be a little bit better.
It definitely had a feel of an early 70s Giallo. Like it did have that feel to me, like storyline and everything. But yeah, this is a high one, definitely up there with heavy metal.
I'd say it was too. Yeah. The next one though, it's okay. I think so. There's one of them. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one exactly. But there's 4 instead of 3. There's 4 suspects instead of 3. So they changed it up a little bit, you know. But
oh god, the way they catch the guilty party in this one too, all basically derived by what toys the so-called mother was carrying in the bag at the time where they were at the police station. What?
Gives a baby this giant fucking gun and these fucking big
water gun.
Apparently, that's the way you can work out whether she's the kid or
nobody
not.
does that. I looked at the toys.
I'm so sorry we rushed it. Darren, go ahead and with the start because I did. I totally fucked that one up. Just leaning into it because I was so excited. But go ahead, man.
No, that's fine. So you got Tango 28. He helps a mother find her kidnapped child. The police, like, obviously they go through and they arrest these women with babies, and which one of them is the kidnapper is pretty much the synopsis. But the way it starts out, right? So we've got this young mother. She has this baby, and it's taken during the night. She's asleep. I think she sets a fucking alarm, which I don't know how that works when you've got like a newborn baby. But next morning she gets up and she discovers what's happened. Tango 28, he's about to finish his night shift, and he's this goofy looking fucker with the glasses. Like, you can tell
he's an older guy.
Yeah. His character didn't really take off. He was like a musician in real life, like a really well-known musician. I think he did acting on the side.
Said he did acting just for fun. Like his primary source of income was being a musician, and they actually taped him. I mean, he was in he did musical performances for a living. And then somebody said, "Hey, it looks like you had a lot of fun with that. Well, why don't you try acting?" And he was like, yeah, I'll do it in my downtime. And there you go. He got a career out of that shit. But there you go.
I think because this episode is not good.
He didn't. He didn't do bad.
He's not horrible. Yeah. Not the worst.
I don't know. I didn't take to him, to be honest. He just looks a bit goofy for me.
The kidnapping scene was great though. Especially
we fucking slamming that dude, man.
we get the unknown kidnapper who's coming through the window, man. Like that's actually a shot so fucking really good, man.
There's aspects I liked it, in this. That's one of them, definitely.
You get a black glove killer
kind of,
in some of the, too. So
and they leave a doll where the baby once was.
Which is funny when the mother pulls that back, right? Like
like, I mean, it's bizarre. Then they go out and fucking try to arrest every young fucking woman in the neighborhood with a baby.
Who's got a baby?
Just for no reason. They don't even tell them why.
And they just put them in the back seat with no fucking baby seat.
Nothing.
And they're not strapped in or anything. I guess late 80s. I know they had seatbelts, and I know they.
One of the cops wouldn't even let her and the baby ride with him. He was like, "Go ahead and get in the back seat of this cab back over here. You don't want to ride in the back seat of our car." I'm like, "What the fuck is in the back seat of their car?"
Yeah. It's so poorly written, though. I would say this one. It's just got plot holes like throughout, all the way through. It didn't do it for me. This one, I think, it was one of the worst, if I'm honest. But yeah, just looking back on the whole reveal as well, it's just fucking crazy, man.
And like I said, it's a shame, but this is the actual episode actually for the most time on screen, because the rest of it's just kind of like fill-in performance, if you ask me. It's just kind of like we see them at the entrance getting in the cab ready to start the shift, and you're not going to see them again until they're all sitting around and having a beer or whatever it is, discussing how they figured out the problem.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it for this part.
They're all, saluting each other.
High five.
Fucking, you hear the studio audience clapping and shit at the end of every one of these.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
But the one woman in this, she plays like a drug addict woman.
Oh yeah.
She's Lorettina, Baldotti. She was from House of Lost Souls. So I know we recently did that.
Yeah,
you can tell. I recognized her straight away. But no, definitely like a misfire, I think, this one.
Yeah. It's not the best, but I don't know. There's not even like a. So there's not a kill in that one. That's just a baby gets kidnapped.
It's just kidnapping. Yeah.
Weird. But.
Yeah, rushed, man. Very rushed.
And then we're coming on to Lambava's final episode of the series. So Santa Claus.
I mean, yeah, this one.
And this was the last one.
I kind of like this one.
In.
Yeah.
It's got some fun elements to it, 100%.
So you pretty much got Russell 27 investigates the murder of a roadside Santa Claus. After 3 of his passengers are pretty much suspected by the police. This guy's got its moments, I guess, this one. This was the one that was unable to be remastered, like Johnny said, and they had to get it from a VHS copy.
Yeah, they had to reach out to Kotze. He had a copy of it. So.
He must have recorded them all on TV at the time, yeah.
Right.
You get a little cue card right before the episode starts, and it says, the following episode was unable to be remastered from the broadcast master due to excessive damage to the tape. Thanks to Luigi Kotze for providing the copy you are about to see from his personal archive. So we could assume that that's probably he had a VHS tape in his personal archive, just like most older guys do. So
yeah. And I was thinking when I first started reading that, I was like, oh shit, we're not gonna be able to see this until, at very first glance. But
it didn't look that bad compared to the other material. It's a little bit worse, but it wasn't too distracting, I don't think.
Had its charm to it, man.
Yeah. This one starts out, so you've got a Father Christmas and he's giving out Christmas presents in the high street. A drug dealer does this deal nearby. So you've got a man new to town. He kind of checks in at the local airport, and this is fucking bizarre as well, this character. The Father Christmas stops Maria, I think it is, or Mara, and find out what she's doing, and that's kind of a hint of what's going on later on in the episode. And also you see this pimp nearby working. Rosso 27 stumbles upon this Santa who's been killed, literally with some kind of fucking pin, is it? Like this big
he's got him leaned up against the sign, and when he goes to move, he fucking falls over.
It is fucking brilliant, man. And then they take in these 3 suspects then, and what's so fucking bad about it is this guy, he's literally makes a schoolboy error. So he says he doesn't know he's new in town and all this shit, and the next thing he's fucking recommending them local fucking bars in the local vicinity. It is crazy, but this is easy to work out, I think, from the start.
Yeah,
when you got that Maria character as well, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. It was okay. It wasn't the worst one, I don't think, for me.
No, it's not the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst.
But then we come into Luigi Kotze's the killer's fingerprint, and he comes out swinging, I think.
Yeah.
On this one, I think, because you get 2 kills in this one.
Okay, so this is the one you like the best, is it?
It's not the best, no.
Okay.
But I think Kotze come out swinging on this, man. He's like, okay, this is my first shit that I'm on this series, so he gets 2 kills in this one.
I think this one is definitely this is on the same plane as Heavy Metal.
And I remember this time, man, 87, 88, around this time, karate and all the martial arts shit was real popular. So you see Calypso 9 training, and she's a red belt beating a black belt's ass. I'm kind of what the hell is going on here? I don't know, but whatever.
Dude, the karate chop in the steam sauna.
Oh, it's great.
It's unforgettable,
it's
man.
Brilliant, I think, this episode. Yeah.
And then the fucking hot rocks, that's definitely goes back to Mario Bava's Blood and Black Blaze.
But you've got to think the cast in this as well. So you've got Morella D'Angelo. She plays Marissa. Everyone will know her as a lesbian from Tenebrae, and she gets But you get Brett Halsey's fucking brilliant as well. And he plays this kind of sleazy guy who's pretty much sleeping with all the younger women in this episode. Yeah. And he becomes obviously a prime suspect at one point.
If anybody don't know who we're talking about, he's in The Devil's Honey.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just great in everything I've seen him in. He's in A Touch of Death as well, Lucio Fulci, which is a bad film, but he's
it's a great film.
He's good. I don't like that one. But man, I need to go back. Actually, we need to cover that at some point. I think.
Yeah.
This is just so. This is just fun, isn't it? This one, it's not.
It is, man. You got the black glove killer. Like, well, it's not a black glove killer. It's somebody in a red cloak like thing, and you get a scissor kill. I put it in the intro.
It's kind of like a red robe in it or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like tripped out because you get to see some good special effects, if nothing else, in this series.
Some of the kills in this series took me by surprise, man. They're quite gory.
That scissor kill, like in the neck and the blood spurting out.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the hot coals one as well, like Johnny said in the sauna. That's pretty done well, considering.
Yeah, man. The karate chop, man, is fucking like, dude. You see that shit, you're just like,
I started laughing out loud. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if nobody can really ever die from that because it looked like the karate chop was that fucking hard. But man, like, I lost my shit, and I was like, I love that shit. Let's rewind that.
Yeah.
But I think this one was kind of easy, wasn't it, to work out? But I love the reveal. I actually love the actress involved. I won't say who it is, but yeah. This is definitely a high point too.
It is.
It
is in the whole series.
Like I said, Kotze was like, "Okay, this is my first shit. We're gonna do this right."
Yeah. I would imagine this is probably one of the most memorable ones as well.
Yeah, I would say the next one I like probably the most. Lights, camera, death.
Oh yeah, Corinne Kelly. When you said
Corinne Clary, man, great actress, and I mean she's playing herself. I like how it's done. It's they're on a set. I'm kind of messing up the setup, but go ahead.
I can go through the setup if you want, but this obviously she was in The Devil's Honey as well, so you've got that kind of link with Brett Halsey from the last episode.
Yeah.
But Corinne Clary, she's offered a taxi to take her to the shooting of her latest Giallo film, and it's in Cinecittà Studios, which is kind of cool because I think that was actually where they filmed it. I might be wrong, I don't know, but they see the Phantom Taxi in this one as well at the start, which just completely disappears into thin air. That seems to be what happens when they go on these wild goose chases. But Corinne Clary then, she invites Calypso 9 to come in and see filming and kind of see how Giallo films or films in general are made. But you've got all these red herrings. You've got the seamstress. Like, she's really fucking evil. She hates everyone.
And a conversation that immediately takes place where you already know who the fucking killer is because of a remark she made against the actress who was her friend.
Yeah,
right.
Well, also, like when I'm seeing there's a clue, I'm not going to give it away. Which anybody that watches this first time, you're gonna be like, okay, this is the main clue of the whole thing.
Powder.
Yeah.
It's so easy, but I mean, I don't know. I dig the whole setup of how it's done and everything. When you see them filming, and then
man,
Corinne Clary is killed for real. It's supposed to be a retractable knife, but it's switched out for a real knife. I don't know.
What's great is they made them do 2 takes of it, which is fucking great because we get to see them do the whole reset of it again. How pissed they are because, of course, the actor didn't perform up to his par. Right. But they crashed the whole fucking set just to do a reset and do a reshoot for this episode.
And Calypso 9 fucks it up too, right? She comes in there.
Exactly. She interferes because she thinks something's really going down, and she really fucked it up. But the shit's already been busted through at that point, right?
Yeah. And
so I thought in my mind, I'm like, man, that's like a great setup, man. Like they really took the initiative to make sure, like, hey, let the audience see a failed performance. So that way, when the performance happens again, that's when the knife is really going to pierce the skin. And I was like, dude, that's what made it up there for me.
And also,
was that unique though with the storyline? I've never seen that done before.
I don't think so
actually
either.
Kill someone, for real. When obviously it happened recently in fucking Hollywood, didn't it? With the gunshot with the Baldwin.
I
was about to say at this time, think of it though, because really, those mistakes that happened on set wasn't really ever publicly talked about. Then we got we got Brandon Lee, we got the shit with the Baldwin, we got all this other bullshit that's played out in history. But this was kind of ahead of its time because they were actually giving us an episode where something went really fucking wrong. With not only, it wasn't even a stunt double, but it was a device used as a weapon, which we literally just had a couple years ago. So Kind of a little bit of ahead of its time with doing this shit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like you say, it's kind of obvious as well what happens with the switch and all that. But go on, Dirk. Sorry, I know who was going to say something.
Yeah, no, man. It's just I just like this one probably the best out of all of them. Like Corey and Clary, that was just kind of like,
yeah,
I don't know.
What else is she from, Dirk?
Hitchhike. Hitchhike is the main thing.
She's from Hitchhike. I think she done the story of Algaro, which is a good Giallo. If ever you get a chance to check that one out, I don't think it's got like a proper release, but I'm sure you can check it. She did Formula for a Murder as well, which is an Alberto Di Martino Giallo, which is pretty good.
But Hitchhike,
I know y'all were just telling me about Hitchhike. Y'all are like, man, you got to fucking
Hitchhike
watch
is fucking great. Yeah,
she's great in that film. She's awesome. But and I don't know, man. I didn't like it. Like, I don't know, man, because they really ramp up the red herring so hard on this one, and you're like, okay,
you think it's too obvious, don't you? Like Johnny said, you think it's just too obvious, so you're looking at someone else.
Yeah.
But
so it kind of threw me off in that aspect.
Yeah.
So
I think that actually worked in a way. Yeah.
There's an awkward admission of dialogue too. Whenever she's telling the cab driver, because they've become friends now at this point, she's brought her to the set and she was like, "Hey, you know, the guy that I'm going through the window with, trust me, if he really could stab me in real life, he definitely would do it." And then it turns out she gets fucking stabbed to death, and you're like, "Hold on a sec." I was kind of leaning towards the old girl in the back there. Now we got something else playing here.
Yeah. It kind of throws you off. Like, that's why I think that's probably why I like it the most.
Makes you think. Got to dive forward a little bit.
And you can imagine that as well happening in real life. You know, you get all these bitchy people backstage and people hate.
That's what I was. Now I just remember what I was going to say. So what it is like in all these damn episodes. So usually, somebody is dying. Soon as one of the cabbies fucking leave them, right, or get away from them. Then, but in this one, I think it happens right in real time, right? Or is she not there?
Yeah,
she's there on this one. But I don't know. It's just weird. Like they walk off and then it's like no big deal really to them, the cabbies. So
they start, like you say, they're fucking joking, laughing, and joking.
Their skin is thick as fuck, dude. Like they're used to seeing people get killed every fucking night.
Every night.
No, it's great. Man.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, the formula for
smiling the whole fucking time, you know, like
laughing and joking.
This is the life, the fucking night shift, you know.
Yeah, not realizing how much fucking money they've lost along the way as well.
Or how many investigations they've actually tampered and interfered with before the actual police and detectives get there.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, you gotta love the charm of these episodes, man. They could never have been done in a different era to what, you know, the 80s for sure, man.
Yeah.
So the next one is getting married is a bit like dying.
And this is fucking silly too.
I think a lot of them are, yeah.
I mean,
it goes off the rails on the meter of being silly. That's for sure.
It's fucking entertaining. I think this one, man. Well, it's not as good as the others, but it's not far away from me. So you got Rosso, 27, finds himself in the line of fire when a bride is shot while sitting in the back of his taxi. Which, how the fuck does that work, man?
Exactly.
You don't really...
The thunder exactly cracked.
Cars.
The lightning cracked. Yeah.
3 cars past him. 3. And stop right beside him as they're like driving on, you know, like giving this awkward ass look, and then just goes on. And before we know it, we find out the fucking bride's dead in the back seat. And you're like, well, it's one of those 3 for sure.
And she's perfectly shot in the temple too.
Perfectly.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
it's fucking raining with
fucking out there,
fucking wind and shit. You know, come on, like what are we doing?
But yeah, so you got Mara, like she's a bride, and she's getting ready to get married. A month ago, she was with this guy called Carlo. He's like another man, and he pretty much did the dirty on her. She's rushed into marriage now with this other guy, James. And like another twist to that is he used to be her cousin's fiance. So you've got like a fucking love triangle or whatever going on.
Yeah.
which is crazy. I know.
And her
another
cousin's
thing
pissed off at her, wants to kill her.
Yeah.
Like she told her she's gonna kill her or some shit.
Yep.
Right?
And a more bizarre thing is as well, apparently in the UK you get married at fucking midnight, which I've never heard of myself personally, but
Fucking
that's
wild,
a thing,
man.
apparently. But no, this one's fucking great, man. So Carlo rings Mara then. She then flags like Rosso 27's taxi down to take it to the airport. Carlo, he's this pilot. He's the fucking guy. I think, what film is he in now? So he's well known. He was in Demons 2, wasn't he? He was the punk. That's what I remembered him from.
Yeah.
But so you've got the three of them then. They kind of go after her. You know, she's going to the airport. He's a bit of a dickhead, like, you know, he's kind of like shoos her away. He says pretty much there's no other chance of us getting back together. And then you've got later that murder happens.
What does he tell her? He says, "You're disgusting.
You're disgusting."
Yep. She runs off crying and shit. She's like, "Let's go!" And you're like, "Fuck."
Gets right in the cab, and the cab driver's just like, "Well, I actually did a fucking fare tonight, and like here I am. I'm turning around, taking this bitch right back."
Yeah. Right? Yeah. But it is bizarre. The whole fucking thunder, you know, the rain kind of storm comes in, and it only lasts for like 10 minutes or something. Not even that.
Yeah, he's looking through his mirrors, and he's looking at everybody that's driving beside him, you know, and he's like,
and they're all fucking suspicious looking when they're driving.
I know. They hold it forever.
Yeah. So you pretty much got three again of new like suspects. It's easy to work out this one as well.
Yep.
But no, I liked it. I do like this one a lot.
I don't mind it.
There's definitely charm to it. It's just, I mean, we can call it silly at the end of the day, but it's almost so fucking silly, it's obnoxious that you can't look away from it because you know you're being set up just to be like, oh man, like, do they think I'm a fucking retard watching this or what?
But it is kind of logical if you think about it, the way she works out who did the killing. I know it's illogical, the actual fucking act, but the way it's worked out, But
let's say the police weren't called in just the nick of time because like magically he radios dispatch. They go ahead and call the cops and they're like, hey, it's going to be one of the three vehicles that just passed him. Go ahead and set up a roadblock. And like a split second later, they've got all three drivers lined up. And it's like, ABC, it's one of them. It's like, God damn, y'all put up a roadblock quick.
And it's like, that's where the pause comes in, right? And it's like, okay, studio audience, is it A, B, or C? You know? Like,
yeah, man. Yeah. No, this was like a 6 out of 10 for me. It's like just below the top episodes.
The bullet hole looked ridiculous too in the side of the temple. It looked like somebody just like picked a scab. It didn't look like an entry wound. And you notice the detective, whenever he comes back, he was like, I assure you, it was a quick, painless death for her. She was shot exactly right in the temple. And like, we see it and it's like, man, it could have worked a little bit better on that fucking special effect.
I was going to say, did any of you guys find out who did the special effects in this? Because obviously it's not going to be a Stivalette or anyone.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
No, you can tell they're just cheap kind of makeup effects, like random. You know, there's not too much gore anyway.
Some of them look good though. Some of them
look really good, especially the scissor one, man. Fucking
and the first
letter
episode.
opener. Yeah.
The first episode, the bullet hole in the dude's forehead.
Makes me wonder whether there was 2 or 3 different special effects, or certainly for Cosy and maybe one for Lamberto Bava. I'm not sure, but
yeah, probably. But
so the next one is Murder Rock.
Murder Rock. I wonder where they got that from.
Exactly, yeah. Obviously, I think they were kind of like, you know, Lucio Fulci come out with a film a few years previous. So maybe they were trying to get, interested in that.
Troy Howard's book, The Unsane Cinema of Dario Argento.
Yeah, great book, man.
I got to give Troy a shout out, man. Murdered by Design.
But
he's saying in here it was called Murder in Rock. So I don't know. But
okay.
But what we got, it says Murder Rock. So I don't know.
Here's the episode Here's the episode where Darren was talking about earlier, where we got Luigi Cozzi basically taking a riffing on already the bikini horror, which he just took a Jim Morrison song from the Doors that had been unreleased, just to make it a little bit more modern, because nobody was going to be able to relate to somebody like Bikini if he wanted to keep it modern. But the story of 2 payphones, then one doesn't work. It's not that hard to figure out.
Right. Yeah.
No.
And And didn't that sound just like Jim Morrison too?
Oh, dude, no, man, it was so far away, dude. Ugh.
And apparently, you can fucking grab an axe because they keep axes on the fucking wall.
Yeah,
in this,
they're not.
like,
They're not behind the glass or nothing. You know, like no fire
no.
axe. You know.
I was thinking of Slaughter Hotel with that as well, where they got fucking like axes,
I do like
fucking medieval torture instruments.
I do like that stalk scene in the hallway though, when the chick's
on the phone. Yeah.
That's all great. And then the colors, the Giallo, it's got the Giallo colors and shit.
Yeah.
The lighting.
The two moments of talent that's recording in the studio though, god damn, dude, both those bands suck. One of them's like a solo artist singer, and he's in there just like fake love songing it all up. But that first band is just like Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I wasn't digging that shit at all. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's like Calypso 9 as well. She's got all this fucking time on her hands where she can just go into this other studio and listen to this guy singing. But just to like set this up, obviously, I know we mentioned most of the things.
Well, let me say one thing though. That one dude, like, it took me back though, because I remember people saying that shit all the time, saying it's the bomb. Like, I was like,
yeah.
That was brutal, man. I was like, holy shit. But you got the Psycho score in this one. Definitely.
Yeah, you have. Yeah,
the Psycho score is like undeniable. That's Psycho.
100%.
Like,
so you got a band, they're called De Novo. They're playing in the studio. A woman rings the taxi office saying she's lost this important, like, unreleased Jim Morrison tape in the back of her taxi. And Calypso 9's, cab. Calypso 9 sees an old taxi cab in the garage, and that's where you get the fucking ghost cab thing coming up in this one as well. Where, like Johnny was mentioning earlier, the fucking two of the fucking women on the radio go down to investigate. And it's bizarre. But
you see this old ass cab, like, covered in cobwebs and shit.
And that's where the psycho music comes in as well, if you notice, where during that scene. But I mean, how do you think they come to get that storyline with the phantom cab? Do you think it literally must have been just made up on the spot, and they thought we'll go with this all the way through to keep people interested, like towards the end?
Yeah, like a wraparound kind of thing.
Yeah,
the running side plot throughout all of them.
Yeah,
I mean, it kept me interested through the whole thing. I was like, are they ever going to catch this fucking
does
thing?
work.
Yeah, because it works on that point, but the payoff sucks.
You do want to find out what.
I'll just say right now.
Yeah. Spoiler, but yeah, definitely. But yeah, so you've got the whole band, and the manager, I think it is, are all suspects at one point. But I don't know.
Bunch of staring at each other type of shit going on, right?
Yeah. I don't know whether he's thinking of maybe the band were like Goblin or something in a way, like that style of kind of musician.
Yeah.
But no, this one's okay. Not the best, obviously, but
the axe decapitation's cool.
Yeah, that's the best thing. The best thing in it. And then the whole kind of how they work it out with the two phones and shit as well, which is kind of bizarre. But no, it's decent. I would definitely watch. I'd probably watch most of these again, to be honest.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Who exactly was this bitch going to call though to verify that she had 100% that was her property?
That's what I was thinking.
She left in the back of a cab, and I was like, I just don't understand this. Like, the guy's already took the tape back, and he was like, until we figure this shit out, like, I'll just hold on to this. And it's like, well, in the meantime, he's probably gonna make a copy of that shit and probably give it back to her and be like, oh well, fuck it. But it was a little bit weird. But we distinctly, like, at this point, like, she walks out of the room, she goes to pick up a phone, she borrows a coin from Calypso, and like, literally, we know this phone doesn't work. And she goes down the hallway, finds another phone right there, and the camera shines back around, and there's already a guy on the fucking phone talking on it. We're like, wait a minute, that phone wasn't working a while ago.
Yeah.
And also, Calypso, this is what I was talking about a minute ago. Calypso got to wander off somewhere else, right? So somebody else gets killed.
Just as it happened. But I was going to ask you guys, I don't know whether it was just me missing something. So there's a missing tape, right? That's gone, like, missing from the back of a Calypso's taxi. How did that woman know that it could have been fucking related to these musicians in this fucking studio somewhere else?
Exactly. She just randomly says, she goes, let's go back to the studio. Like, she's already been there before, but they happen to walk in. and she's hearing the music play out of
That's
another
what
room.
it is.
And we're
Right?
like,
Ain't she there to
what the
pick
fuck?
somebody up though?
No, she was taking the girl to
Oh.
the studio because she was hoping that Calypso would be able to identify one of the passengers that was actually in her cab that she suspects
That's right.
at this point has had to been taken by another passenger by
That's right.
mistake.
That's why.
But like Darren said, like it's this random ass thing where like she gets in the car and she's like, "Do you remember where you dropped your clients off?" And she's like, "They definitely didn't go to the studio. It's the passenger herself." It's like, "Oh, let's head over to the studio." And it's like, nah, like Calypso should have said that.
Yeah,
She
as soon as they get
said,
there,
I dropped somebody off at the studio.
They're playing the music. So
That was conveniently enough is the tape, but yeah, I mean it's goofy the storyline, but it's decent, I think.
Look, we can all agree right now though, this cab company that is the center around this whole series, we can definitely say like that's great. The cab drivers are like expert detectives, but we know that this cab company is definitely spending a hell of a lot more money than they're making, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, holy fuck, dude! How do they stay in business? But
right,
hey, it is what it is.
Do you
though.
think? I was just now thinking about this part of it too. Like, so the ghost cab, right? Do you think they're like playing off of Ghostbusters, maybe in a way?
They reference Ghostbusters, like "Go catch them, Ghostbusters," like talking to Red 27 and shit. Yeah,
things that were popular at the time, kind of do. You know,
I mean,
and
it
then
does.
as we go on,
the effect does look cool as well with the lit up taxi.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it
But,
does. It looks really awesome. You know what it reminds me of though? Like as soon as I saw that shit, and I knew it was going to be something that was going to be a little bit more, probably outside the Giallo kind of expectations of it. It reminded me of Repo Man in a strange way because I was like, wait a minute, like Repo Man's like that's my shit, and when I kind of got a hint of it there for a little bit, then we built up to the episode where they open it up, which is further on in the series, but we're literally sitting here and they're having a conversation about the ghost cab, and it's like this doctrine, whatever, of myth or literature or whatever, and he was just like, no, just creators have kind of used all this shit like myths and all this before just to make a living on writing science fiction books and da. So I was leaning on that where I was like, fuck, dude. Like, there's probably like some radiation in that trunk, and like that shit, that fucking car can fly and shit. Emilio Estevez is going to show up. It never happened.
Right.
Oh,
we got Acres of Movies in here. It says, would you rather go on a dark ride for Torso or opera?
Opera for me all day long. I mean, I love Torso as well, but
man.
Yeah,
man, that's Martino with Torso, man. Fuck, man, that's a great flick, man.
Man,
I love opera too.
But I mean, a dark ride. So I don't know. It's set in a Torso in the swamp though. Like if it was like that kind of thing.
Oh, that's so fucking good. When
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd probably go Torso just because of that. Like because of the setting. Like the.
I mean, it's a dark ride in Eyeball, like Lindsay's Eyeball.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Torso.
Both those fucking movies are great. Though,
even though I like opera more.
Fucking superb, both of them. Yeah.
And then he says, fun to see Johnny here.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much, man. Thanks to these gentlemen right here for having me back.
Well, we're going to be seeing more Johnny in future episodes as well, which I'm really, pleased, man. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the stuff we got planned, so keep tuned, like people. Right, so we're up to number 11 then. The Fugitive.
Yeah, this one right here is a little wobbly for me.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think now what I give it. I actually didn't mind this one. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. So you've got Russell 27.
Yeah, this one's not bad.
Yeah, it was all right.
I'm mixing them up though too.
So
there's 15 of them, so we're just cramming them all in.
Right.
This is the one with the fugitive where. So Russell 27 has to rescue Calypso 9 after a taxi is hijacked by this fugitive who's searching for the person who set her up. That's kind of the basic kind of storyline. So you've got Calypso 9 has a client who has to stop off at a shop to get change to pay the fare. This female fugitive gets in the car and tells her to just drive. Tells her to go to this certain place as well at gunpoint to like this fucking warehouse or wherever it is. This one is crazy, man. I did actually like where it went with the whole kind of thing in the fridge and and all
Yeah,
that.
we got an industrial freezer that's internal temperature is set to -9 degrees. It's like,
Yeah,
God damn.
Yeah, and then you get the black glove killer with the meat hook.
You do, yeah. You got the meat hook
You
kill.
get a meat hook kill
kind
through
of
the
fun.
neck. Yeah, pretty cool.
And again, she just wanders off to fucking investigate in this fucking warehouse where anything could be going down.
Gets fucking nosy and gets locked into a fucking freezer and chained up in the freezer. You know,
I mean, it's hard to think as well. At that point, I was thinking to myself, "How the fuck's she gonna get out of this one?" There's no fucking way I was thinking she's gonna get out of this.
And that's just like again, by chance, right?
By chance, yeah.
Oh,
they happen to see a taxi, outside this fucking warehouse by chance, and they come in the nick of fucking time as well because she's freezing, she's fucking shivering and all that shit. But yeah, I kind of like the twist of this one as well. I thought it was kind of fun. It's not brilliant, honestly, but this one is. Yes, I thought this was like middle of the road.
What'd you think about the chick that gets in the cab though with the gun? Like she looked like an Italian Gina Davis to me.
She did for sure. And not only that, man, like what's so fucking bizarre, especially with her character, before she gets out of the cab to go in there to go into the store, which is a destination that she has made this fucking cab driver drive to her. She literally holds the gun up and she's like, "It's empty. It don't even have no bullets in it."
And then she's like, "Oh," and then she's like, "Will you take me here?" And
Calypso was like,
"Yeah, of course,
it's okay,
no problem."
Yeah,
and next thing you know, she's covering her fucking ass.
Fucking pointed a gun at me, like,
what
the fuck,
right?
And she just goes to cover her ass in this fucking warehouse. It's it's crazy, man. But in terms of like the cast of this, so the fugitive was played by someone called Emma Piro. I don't think she did anything else of note.
Okay.
But the one big actress in this is Michaela Pignatelli. She plays Perla Ramati. She's well known from The Card Player, The Church, and What Have You Done to Your Daughters? And she plays a big role in this. A lot of
familiar faces. If you're into the genre or Italian cinema, you'll see.
This was another one. I was kind of because I'm a big fucking like fan of like those three films in general, so I was kind of marking it when I seen her. But
if you don't get the feeling where if like you got that feeling where like, well, you maybe not be at home, but you're in a familiar territory, especially with you guys, which I'm sure like every one of these motherfuckers that popped up, you're like, well, I know that motherfucker from like 5 movies. I know that one from like 7 different movies. And it's like, I know exactly pretty much where we're going on this road. So it's like familiar territory where you kind of sit back and really enjoy it. Even if some of them were bad, you were like, hey, I want to see this motherfucker's performance. It's been a little bit since I've seen this dude. So,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say as well. So we're 11 episodes in. Right. And to be honest with you, there's only out of those first 11 episodes, there's like 2 or 3 that I really didn't think.
There's 2 that I really didn't care for.
Yeah, so that's a good fucking ratio, man. Up until this point, and I think the series, goes on. There's maybe at least another high point for me, I think, to come.
Stacy says, fun. I read that one. These shows are always fun. Do you think White of the Eye will get a special edition? Or Awaken Fright will get a special edition.
White of the Eye is I've got the steel book for that, and that, believe it or not, is one I've never seen. I know
I got White of the Eye, and Arrow Blue, and
is that like an American Giallo, Dirk? Because I know you've seen it.
Yeah, it's
I need to see
like
that
an American Giallo. I'm trying to think of the actor. He was in I
know Donald Clamel was the one who directed it.
Okay. He was in An Officer and a Gentleman, the guy that kills himself in that film.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the guy.
There you go, Acres.
Yeah.
There's if you don't have that one yet.
Oh, shit.
Acres of movies.
What is that?
The Steelbook.
Oh.
White of the Eye.
I don't have the Steelbook. I got the.
Oh, that is the Steelbook I got, I think. Yeah. I thought that was a slipcover then.
He's a good actor, though. Yeah, that's a pretty decent movie. Yeah.
It's one on my radar, man. I've been wanting to see for a
David
long time.
Keith, that's right. David Keith.
Waking Fright. Have you ever seen that? Waking Fright?
I haven't seen that.
It's an Australian film from 1971, I believe. Okay. And it's kind of not a horror film, but there's a lot of like horror elements in it with fucking kangaroos and shit. And like, I think Donald Pleasance is in that as well. So,
but you know what? Acres of movies, at this point, before you, especially with some of this older stuff, it's a little bit hard to track down, or it might be a little bit more expensive because it's on the collector's end market. Maybe just give it a little bit, because I mean, fuck, guys. I mean, you pretty much admit with me, everything that these fucking boutique labels are rolling out lately is nothing more than 4K rehashes at this point, right? I mean, we've been going through this for years now, but it's working because everybody's buying them up. But yeah, Acres, if you don't already have, Wake Up Right, I don't really know who has that, but yeah, the other one, shit, who knows? Wait a little bit, you might get a 4K of it, or you might be able to find that shit right there cheap as hell on eBay for all I know.
And the blue, I remember watching that Euro blue, man. It looked good, looked great.
Yeah, man. You can't go wrong with Euro video, man. Yeah. Shit, man. They're Blu-rays, man. Fuck, man.
And then you gotta, I mean, most all our players upscale everything, so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the 4K thing is, I do agree it's better, but then a lot of times I think it's just people just got to have it because it's 4K.
It's the newest thing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the newest thing.
It's on 4K. They got to have the fucking 4K. So,
but
to me, I don't have to have everything.
I mean, I'm fucking guilty of some. I don't get everything. I got Torso, Dress to Kill, Arrow come out with recently. And what's annoying is if they haven't got no like newer extra
features. Ported over bullshit.
Yeah. That's Don't Touch a Duckling, but I mean, I gotta get that. I had to get that because I fucking love that film.
I'm guilty of that.
They kind of get you, don't they?
You got your holy grails.
Yeah.
That you're gonna, you work hard. You're gonna buy something that you love, man. Yeah, it just makes no sense. A 4K, we can all three of us can agree on. Fucking Synops when they did Tenebrae, holy fuck, man. At that time, man, Tenebrae was about the best looking 4K we had that year at that point, and it was like, all right, fucking, this should be like the mark. This should be the watermark where everybody's chasing as far as quality.
Yeah,
but I mean, who knows? We'll see what the future holds. But man, yeah, it just seems like years and years now. It's like even movies that probably didn't even, you would think that wouldn't even sell well from some of these boutique labels. Like, here they are, a special announcement. Now we got a 4K of that movie rolling out, and it's like, don't you guys still have a bunch of these fucking Blu-rays somewhere in a warehouse or a fucking U-Haul storage or something? Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
But people have been saying for the past 5 years that I can remember that physical media is dying. I don't think it is. I think people like us are keeping it going.
I think it might if they keep fucking doing $70 releases.
I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, though. I don't think it's going to be.
But if that's the new standard, fucking 65 to 70.
Well, then we're fucking guilty because we bought fucking The Beyond, So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you get these titles where you've got they know they've got you because you've got to get them basically.
Yeah.
But for example, look what's in that package, though, Darren. That's 6 discs in that fucking box set. You get a book and everything.
That's the way to do it.
So maybe we could say like that price tag. It probably took them a lot of production to get that done. Now, granted, the material we're putting in our hand didn't cost them $70 to manufacture, but the effort, the production, whatever they had to do for that scan, I'm sure all that shit cost them money. So that release, I think, is one of those that we can kind of exclude, even though it is that $66.66, kind of like that, same as that Trick or Treat release. But like Dirk said, man, just think of every fucking limited edition set that was the rollout from here on out, just automatically had that $66, $70 price tag. I think at that point, you really are. You're pretty much outpricing your own fan base. And you definitely would see a big fucking fallback from that.
You're going to see a big drop. Yeah.
I remember me and Dirk, we was doing this conversation. We were doing a stream, and it was years ago, but we were like, man, like, it kind of sucks to see the $30 price tag roll out now when shit was $25. And then we went from 30 and then we went to 40. Like, we didn't even hit the middle ground. It was like automatically 30 to 38 to $40. And we're like, fuck, when's the $50 price tag coming? We've already done seen that shit come and gone too. So
yeah, it's getting crazy.
I can remember some of the earlier DVDs mine costing what, 20, 25. Just for like a Blue Underground, like Deep Red or something,
My Anchor Bays were the same back in the day. The Anchor Bay DVDs, man, $24.99 every time I picked one up.
Yeah, City of Living Dead, I remember getting at that price, and that was like early 2000s. So I don't know how the way it's going. It will kill it, like you say, eventually if they do.
It'd be like comic books back in the 90s,
Yeah. I mean, if they do it for the like one-offs, like the Beyond, and they got something extra like the TV cut, absolutely all day long people will buy it. But when they're starting to do it for like, I mean, I like Trick or Treat, but I don't know. I didn't buy the new release. I don't think you know, at $66 fucking dollars that I'd really be interested. I'd like to, but I'd probably pay 30, maybe get the standard eventually.
Right.
That's the way to do it.
So I guess we're on
12, episode 12.
12th one. Excuse me, y'all. Acres Movie says, wow, that's rad. Thanks. Talking about your steelbook. No problem.
Absolutely.
No problem. But House of the Stradivari, right?
Yeah.
This is another one with red. Is it red? Rosso
Right.
28?
Yeah, red 27. Yeah.
27. Yeah, because we got Tango 28.
Tango 28.
That's what. But
this is bizarre.
there's a
one,
fucking
really.
kill in here, man, that I fucking couldn't help but I died fucking laughing, man. But it's so cool. Like, you see the silhouette kill with a fucking violin.
Yeah.
It's like just fucking bashes the bitch in the head with it, and you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to see Paganini because he did Paganini horror a little bit later,
man.
but he'd already written it by this point.
Mm.
You've got to put these two together and watch them side by side because I think you'll probably get something more out of it. Because you can definitely see the connection, and I like the whole.
Go ahead and watch
backstory
Klaus
as well.
Kinski's Paganini too, right?
Oh fuck! I would never fucking watch that. I don't think, unless Dirk turns around and says it's great or something. But
Yeah.
but that's the one he directed as well. Funny enough.
That's the only one he directed. Yeah.
But with this one, right? So you got Rosso 27 is asked to be like an independent witness at a private auction. The item on sale is a priceless Stradivarius violin played by Paganini himself. However, the violin turns out to be a fake and is soon used as a murder weapon. This one's like fucking crazy storyline.
And then like they go into the whole myth of Paganini, where he killed his girlfriend and took her bowels to make the strings on the instrument, and the instrument's cursed and all this shit, right?
I take it
there's almost like a housewarming party going on at the same time while we're like the cab's pretty much he gets his cab stolen, so he's pretty much forced to go to this house, this
chasing
mansion.
the ghost cab.
And it's like fucking which mysteriously his cab disappears in the most fucking horrible way because it's like, dude, your car was like right behind you. Like, you didn't hear somebody break the window out of that bitch and get in it? Come on, man. Like, what's going on? But they're having like a housewarming party out of all this shit. So even though for this one, for me, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we've been saying pretty much these episodes are like 15 minutes. As we're getting a little bit closer to the end of the series, the episodes begin to start running about 17, 18, 19 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. So they're getting just a little bit longer. And I'll honestly say this, even though this episode, of course, you're thinking, okay, dude, it's like 18 minutes. This is going to go by light and fast. The pacing for this, for me, was really fucking slow. So I was like, okay, dude, like, I better see something pay off here in a little bit because I'm losing interest fast.
There's not enough action there all the way through.
I died fucking laughing.
It was like the money shot, man. It's like, fuck, man. Like, finally, we got something.
And the chick's in a wheelchair, too, so it's even worse. Like, I don't know.
So you've got this big house, haven't you, where for some reason, like, there's a big famous past to this house. It's like all the big musicians used to go there, I think, and record songs. And then bizarrely, like you say, you've got these three suspects that end up being suspects in the end, are all watching these musicians play music. And then you got the older woman in the wheelchair. She decides she wants to sell off her fucking Paganini violin original from, I think, 1813. Which, how the fuck you would know that it was original, I don't know. Which is a big part of the plot as well. But she had like this past story with her as well. She had this accident like 7 years ago. And like we kind of don't know what was entailed in that at first, you know, and then kind of reveals itself towards the end. No, I think, like Johnny said, I think it's fair to say this is kind of one of the slower ones, one of the harder ones to kind of get through. But I did kind of like it in a way because it does go with Paganini horror, and I think you can definitely see where the idea come from just through that film alone, which was all, like I said, it was all done and written by the time this came out. So, No, it's probably. Where would you put this one, Dirk, in terms of?
It's pretty low. I mean, the violin kill kind of don't have it the lowest, but it's probably the third worst, I'd say.
Okay, I wouldn't have gone. To me, I wouldn't go that low. I'd say it's more middle.
Okay.
But again, you've got the reveal and the way
It is kind of slagging though, like it sloths around a little bit.
It is. Yeah, I agree. It could have been a lot quicker and a lot faster. But no, it was okay. It was okay. Nothing more, nothing less, really.
But the next one, I think it's a lot of fun. Even though it's a lot of fun because you see Dario Nicolodi, you see Aja Argento, and that's Katzi's daughter, you said as well.
Yeah.
This one, and it's like a Christmas theme Giallo, but there's a circus involved and shit. Like
there's a lot of circus fucking fucking there's like minutes, even though it's only like 18, 17 minutes long. There's fucking minutes of circus fucking clowns and
you get to see tigers and shit jumping over each other. And, there's some cool shit. But like
this is so fucking good just for that kind of charm aspect.
And the Giallo colors are like probably the strongest in this one with Dario Nicolodi.
Yeah.
In the blue light, and then you get certain parts where it's green flashing, and the Giallo colors are like all over this film.
It captures the Christmas atmosphere, I think, as well. Literally, because it was filmed 2 weeks before Christmas, I think, at this point. But it gives you that warm kind of fuzzy feel. It's not.
This is a Hallmark episode. Is what this is.
There's no fucking Giallo elements really.
You know what the Hallmark channel is?
Yeah.
Right. That's what this is, pretty much. Like
it's just like go on, sorry, John.
All right, just watch on my mind. Like I got it. Like we can kind of take the fact that this is not really a Giallo episode.
No.
Yeah. Like we would have all hope it would be, but can you, both of you guys, like just off the top of your heads, can you think of a Giallo film that you watched where it actually took place in a circus setting?
No, I can't think of it.
Nothing. Yeah.
There's circus of horrors, but it's not a Giallo. There's kind of a couple in the 60s, but nothing, not shows.
There's some horror circus shit I can mention, Carnival.
Santa Sangre. Fucking.
But no Giallo. Yeah.
But I was saying, Johnny, just when you went to get a drink or whatever, there's like minutes of fucking circus footage throughout this, like all the different points.
I know it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's got
chicks jumping up on elephants and.
You got Howard Ross from fucking New York Ripper. He turns up as like the kind of manager of this circus type thing.
And I think they even promoted as the first trapeze artist show for the first time in Italy. I think was the way they were promoting it whenever the trapeze artist came out. And it was wait a minute, what year was this? Like, come on, man. Like trapeze artists been around for a fucking long time. Like Italy just got them. Damn.
So the only mystery to this is who her father, the two little girls' father is.
Yeah.
So I just like go into like the plot. So at first you've got the mother. She's on the phone. That all the kids are getting ready for Christmas. They're putting the Christmas tree ornaments on. She has this violent fucking kind of. She's going back and forth with the husband on the phone, and she's pretty much tells him like, "I want to fucking kill. I'm going to kill you." So she goes with is it a gun or a knife she takes from
a gun?
So the girls are fucking watching this as well.
And, like the daughters are left there on their own.
They literally see her leaving the fucking place with a gun, man. That would scare you, wouldn't it, for life as a child?
We're going to kill our.
They decide to say, "Oh no, we're going to go and help our father." They don't know.
She's going to kill our father that we've never met.
That we've never met. So we'll ring a up.
It's so blatantly obvious too, because while the argument's taking place on the phone, which is Argento's daughter, Asia Argento, she's like the oldest daughter. She's like, "Hey, come with me. Something's going on." It's like, "Don't go in there."
Yeah. So I presume it's like Christmas Eve, maybe. Christmas Day, it might be actually. But so they turn up at this circus. Obviously, Calypso 9 takes them. And weirdly enough, I said earlier, like she was Dario Argento's girlfriend at the time. Yeah. So in this episode, you got Dario Argento's daughter, his ex-fucking girlfriend, or people say his wife. I know, but she's as good as his wife.
Right.
And her, and so But it doesn't really seem awkward. They seem to all kind of get on
But it
camera.
seems like weird. Like whoever wrote this, like, is that kind of like hinting at some real life
Personal shit. Yeah,
What's
you
going
would
on?
almost
Yeah.
think it, right?
No, yeah, exactly.
So, that's kind of awkward in a way.
She's
like,
literally waiting in the living room with the lights out in this house with the most worst intentions, ready to fulfill her anger and all this hurtfulness shit. And then at the last moment, it's like it doesn't even pay off because at the end they're all like fucking standing around hugging and shit, being like, "I
she
love
looks
you
at a
too."
picture, right?
And it just changes everything.
Changes
everything.
And I think they've been like estranged for a few years by this point. Obviously, the girls don't even know what her father looks like. And then they just automatically fall back in love with each other towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like happy and fucking.
Oh, yeah. It's like the big cheese moment, the Hallmark. That's what I was talking about, Hallmark.
Yeah. You've got to love this one, though, yeah? I love
I
this
dig
one.
it. I dig it just because Nickelodeon and Argento. We got Chris in here. What's going on, man?
Well. Hey, what's
up, Chris?
Yeah,
Hope you're doing good, man. I can imagine Dirk sitting there in front of the fucking TV, then watching this play out. And she looks at the picture, and then everybody starts hugging. He's like, "Hey, man, what the fuck is going on? That bitch better kill somebody."
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is bullshit.
I want my money back, man. Fuck.
Nobody gets killed in this one. Holy shit.
I think they mentioned that in the interviews as well. All they wanted to do was put like this happy kind. They didn't want no blood, no gore, no kind of murder mystery. They just wanted
this is a
this
Christmas
happy
segment.
tale. Yeah. To get everyone warm and fuzzy, I suppose, at Christmas.
Yeah,
which it does.
Believe it or not, but Argento sounded like he was a little fond of this episode. Now I'm assuming it's because of course one of his daughters was in it, and who knows whatever was going on with the ex-girlfriend and what was going on with the new girlfriend. But he clearly stated that he was very fond that Kazi had done the episode and put his daughter in it. So I was like, all right then. Well, at least the girl you were fucking is in the show, and she's literally sitting there acting with the girl that you are now fucking.
Right. And she was in opera as
your
well.
Daughter, by the way.
Yep. Okay.
So he's trying to kill off his ex, fucking Dario Nickelodeon in opera, which he kills her off, obviously. And then you've got Antonella Vitali's in there too. So I presume they all seem to get on well. I've not heard or read anything.
It's a different breed of people, man. Like, people that performers and movie people. It's a totally different breed of people.
But you can agree with me though. Well, like, come on, like we can pretty much safely say at this point, though. I kind of pointed out earlier, but it's like one of those things. If you're in a relationship with Argento, though, like romantically, if he ain't fucking you, he's killing you off in his movies.
Yeah,
right. And he's killing you off if he is fucking you. Like
you fucking
Coralina Catali.
Yeah, Catali. But have you noticed as well? All his girlfriends are like fucking 9 or 10 out of 10. Like, if you think about it, he's all ex-models, fucking actresses. Because I think
you say earlier, like the Argento nightmares, like the girl who's constantly behind him in the studio and she's all acting weird around him. Didn't you say like he was fucking her at one point?
Yeah, he was.
Coralina.
Okay,
that's Coralina.
The girl who turns into a demon in Demons 2. She's at her
birthday party. And she's also in,
Mother of Tears. Yeah, opera. She plays the seamstress. Yeah, she's one of my favorite actresses.
That was the killer's fingerprint girl chick, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, this one, like you say, you gotta like this one. I think. Yeah. I think I'll actually play this at Christmas. Believe it or not. Bit soppy like that in a way. But I'd seen this kind of when this set first come out. I actually that was the first one I put on because I was reading. Fuck, man, you got Dario Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Asia Argento, and I kind of.
You were just basing it on. You just based it on cast, not like looking like, oh, I know how this story plays out. It's going to be
right. Yeah. Oh no, I was thinking, when I first saw it, maybe it didn't have the murder mystery element and all that, but I kind of warmed to it.
I'll be right back.
Decent, yeah.
Hey, at least that's like one of those because I think this is the one episode out of the 15 that we have here where you're just like almost kind of feel like I got it, like the cast is there, and especially with like people like you, for a fact, like every one of these motherfuckers, they're associated with Argento in some fashion, form, personal, professional, whatever. So I mean, I got it, but the fact that you could definitely kind of dig it, even though it's like, yeah, man, like as far as like the story wrap of how we're going to end this compared to the rest of them, this one is like the one. It's like the sore thumb on the whole hand, where it's like, man, like that. Fuck, at the end of it, man,
it's definitely different.
We're thinking she's going to sit in that living room and just go through that whole psychosis where it's going to take her. It's just going to take her over, and just acts of violence are just going to be presumed as soon as they walk in the house. But instead, it's like that moment where we're seeing everybody hug, and you're like, maybe this is a setup. Maybe as they're hugging or something, she's going to pull out a fucking knife and it's going in somebody's back for all we know. But also, all we got was like a bunch of hugging and shit, crying.
What kind of like when I kind of realized what was going to happen was because you get the two daughters, yeah. So I'm thinking they're not going to put any kind of blood or guts into this with two young, pretty much two young girls in the cast,
especially made for television, right? We can exclude that out.
Yeah. So I think I was kind of prepared when I first saw it in a way. But no, I'm waiting for Dirk. I am, because I want to see because this next one I kind of really dig. I don't know, did you? Which is Road.
Oh, yeah. We got the throwback too, man. Not to mention we got Universal throwback, Creature from Black Lagoon. I mean, I saw a Sharon they had for Christopher Lee in this episode, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. Like, they're going back.
Yeah, man.
This one just got a fucking whole like Halloween type vibe, and even though I think it's set in New Year's, isn't it? It's another New Year's one.
Because they had just done the Christmas episode. Like they literally just shot that Christmas episode.
It's kind of like you can tell it's an homage to Mask of the Red Death, which I've been Darren about for a while now. I was like, you got to see Mask of the Red Death. Vincent Price, fucking my favorite Vincent Price film.
Nice.
And it's great, man. It's a big homage to that, though, for sure.
It's definitely one of the better ones as well. And you've got like a good cast as well. You've got Bruno Carazzali. He plays the Invisible Man in this one. People who know him from The Psychic, Black Cat, Body Puzzle, and Puzzle, the film. But this one opens up New Year's Eve. You've got the fucking Suspiria theme kicks in.
Yeah, the witch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the fucking Calypso 9. She has this fair as this invisible man's in the back of a taxi, and we're thinking straight away, what the fuck's going on here? Like,
the Creature from the Black Lagoon, fucking they all got like a flower or a rose or some shit. Like, what the fuck is all
which
that?
becomes a big thing in the plot. But he drives him to this old abandoned building. Where literally like there's an unsolved murder happened a year ago.
And again, nosy Calypso.
Yeah.
Nosy bitch. Like, what are you doing? Go to your
Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah.
The whole
what are they doing down there?
Atmosphere in this fucking segment is great.
Because
like the whole foggy kind of look, and
because the note's left in the back seat. So Calypso reads the note, and then she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, let me go put my fucking nose into this shit.
Look, Dirk's got her chalked up to just be some nosy cunt.
Yeah, and
she pretty much is.
She's like the best detective in the world.
Yeah, all she knows at this point is that this place has literally fucking been out of bounds for the past year. I'm not even sure she knows about the murder mystery, does she? Straight away, what happened in the past? Yeah, so she goes in not knowing, But what I like about this as well is like Dirk said, the character, the red mask or whatever it is, she kind of gets all these people back because she wants to work out who killed, because it was her sister who got killed the year previous. And she's kind of like doing her own kind of thing to work out who the killer is and all that. I mean, I dig this. I think it's like, say this is like a good Halloween style.
But you got it. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah. But when they get to the point where they're explaining, okay, you got the Invisible Man, you got the vampire, then you got the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then you got the indestructible skeleton. I was like, what the fuck
did that come from?
Which I was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. I guess copyright, they couldn't really show Frankenstein or something. Like,
maybe not. You probably got a point. They try to do another monster, and they're like, oh shit, don't do that. We'll get sued. Well, let's do the indestructible skeleton. They're like, fuck yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. No, man.
And the whole fucking at the end, man, when when the detective just acts like, yeah, she wanted to just investigate. She wanted to do her own investigation. Like, that's just normal shit that people do, right? Like,
that's interfering with police work, man.
Right.
Like, what? That's obstruction. There's charges for that
like,
shit,
you started
man.
all this shit. Like, you know, like, no, what the hell? Just like it's a regular thing, the way he's explaining it. Like,
if you didn't know any better, and if it was just Calypso that was doing every single one of these, and we didn't have Red 27, it'd be like, okay, is the lead detective like fucking this bitch who's like not even a cop, and he's just like, go ahead and do my work, baby. Shit, I got other shit to do.
Yeah.
I'm more out for a fucking you. You go ahead and solve all these crimes.
It's almost like a fucking they got like a 4-way going on at the end of each episode where they're all happy and fucking like you know, as if they're all taking fucking turns on her or what. But what do you think in terms of who do you think is the best character out of those four? Who was your favorite character?
Look, for me personally, because I think he did. I didn't really know it until, of course, we dive into the special features and start dissecting shit. Yeah. But I didn't realize that when Argento, I think it was Bava who was talking about him, was saying that Red 27, of course, he was very intimidated of the set a little bit, and he was really nervous. But of course, when they got him kind of in there, and it was kind of like a little bit of a family unit, they got him comfortable. Like, he just took off. And I mean, how fast in this shit, you couldn't fuck up that much because they can't do 27 takes for one fuck up. Like, you probably had to get in there lickety split. Let's get it done. We got to go on to the next thing. Bunch of night scenes too, so you're even more limited on time. Not to mention what they had to do just for a shooting schedule just to make airtime. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna give it to. For me personally, I dug Red 27, man. I think his fucking performance, especially in the red jacket, that shit right there to me was like, that's what sold it for me, where I was like, God damn, man, like, I know he tampered with the body immediately. That made me question this shit. But it was like, damn, man, he was like right there hands on, and he pulled that performance off really good. I would have definitely watched a fucking 90-minute movie of him doing that.
I agree. I think he's really good in the role. He's definitely the standout. He seems more comfortable in the acting than the others. Yeah. As much as I like Antonella Vitali, I don't think she's a great actress, to be honest. No, he's pretty. Yeah, I'd say him. I do like the cop as well. You know, I thought he hadn't done a lot of work. I think he was like a stage actor or something. But he does an okay job, I think, at the end of the episodes. I know he hasn't got a lot to do, but yeah.
I think I'm like out of these, I think I got to go with the Ghost Cab.
Oh,
the Ghost Cab is my favorite fucking actor in the whole fucking movie.
Hold on, dog.
In the whole series. No, it's Red 27, man.
He is pretty good. Yeah,
he takes it.
What's his name?
Matteo Garuzzo, I think his name is. I think his dad was like a famous actor.
Yeah, I wish I should have. I had some clips of him in House of Lost Souls. I don't know if it's the dubbing or whatever, but it's fucking hilarious. That shit's great.
I mean, compared to, let's say, House by the Cemetery with Bob, how does that stand up to it?
Yeah, it's on that level, man. Like, ain't it there? Like the dubbing in House of Lost Souls is pretty. It's pretty.
Again, like these, it's a TV film. It's got a charm. They've all got a charm to them. Those Lenzy and but no, I mean, I think he was in Body Puzzle as well. So he's got a good couple of films behind him. But that brings us on to the fucking Ghost Cab now.
Oh yeah,
so final episode. Finale, man. Yeah.
The one we've been waiting for.
And they saved it for the very fucking end. We see this Ghost Cab from episode 1 all through the whole series. They can never catch him, or he goes down a one-way street that actually turns into a roadblock. He somehow invisibly goes through it, but Red 27's car can't. All of a sudden, he can't go through it, which is fucking bizarre in that episode to me. Or his own car gets fucking stolen while he's literally parked right behind the Ghost Cab when he's getting out to go check to see who's actually in the cab, and his own car gets stolen, which is great. Yeah. But yeah, saved it for the end.
This is the one, where she picks up this fucking UFO investigator in the back of a cab, and like Johnny said earlier, he starts, fucking talking about fucking all these kind of alien shit and what's going on.
It too.
Yeah. I was like, you're watching this, you're thinking, what the fuck? And every other minute as it goes by, you don't know where it's gonna fucking end or what's going on at one point. Like early on, you're thinking, what the hell, man? But so you've got a young ghost-like girl. She appears with this ball. She summons another woman into like a ghost cab, into this ghost cab. Rosso 27 and Calypso 9, they kind of follow. They're following it to this building. This place has lots of like old clocks and fucking furniture and shit. So you don't know what the hell's going on. The young girl has brought 3 women there. All to uncover like one is like pretty much, and we are going to spoil this one because there's no real way to talk about it, is there, without spoiling it?
Dirk's definitely going to spoil this one.
Yeah. She's trying to uncover a fucking human alien. She's trying to uncover.
Yeah.
The 3 women.
Right.
Which I'm like scratching my head at this point.
With a sphere. With a glowing sphere. She's like, I'm going to reveal the identity of who's not a real human. It's like, wait a minute, how's this work?
But it's a soccer ball too, right? Or
Yep.
Whatever.
I don't know whether they got the ball part from the changeling or something. Maybe so there's all different things in.
Or
this.
You could even say Mario Bava, Kill Baby Kill.
Kill Baby Kill, yeah, probably got definitely a big influence, I'd say. This one you just don't know where.
Fritz Lang, right?
Fritz Lang, yeah. But did this kind of tie it up? Were you happy the way it went? No.
He's like, fuck no.
I was mad, dude. Like, I was like, y'all.
I wasn't mad, but I wasn't fucking happy either.
I was like, you built the whole damn thing up, and then you're gonna tell me that it's fucking some alien bullshit.
The way they reveal it as well, where this fucking woman, she's got no shadow. She can't cast a shadow, and
right.
Yeah.
That's how Calypso and Red figured it out, right?
Yeah.
And this is the episode where they're together the whole episode, pretty much. Red and Calypso.
Pretty much investigating it. And then for some reason
they black out. It's like weird and
fall asleep.
Yeah, and then they wake up and they're like, "Oh, did that shit really happen? Oh, fuck, I don't know."
And he just tosses the fucking ball away, like, wouldn't you want to keep that as some kind of fucking evidence?
He even called it evidence. He's like,
this is all the evidence we got. Fuck it, like.
So it goes totally supernatural. I don't know, man. I might, if I rewatch this again, I might get a little bit more out of it, knowing what to expect. But
we can admit it's got even with its obnoxiousness and its poor writing, we all 3 know that was really rushed for some of this shit. It still holds like that validity where it has a certain charm to it, where even if you're watching it and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, like this could have been, I could see the error of this, and I could definitely tell that when I went to go shoot this, even the actors were probably like, dude, like this doesn't make no fucking sense. Can we go back to the drawing board kind of thing? But you can almost appreciate that for the charm that it is to be like, okay.
But
like,
why is the alien revealing itself like a young girl from like the 18th century, from the 19th century?
But
it doesn't explain that at all.
Yeah, it was a chameleon that can metamorph into anything, pretty much.
But then it's also got this other plot where it's like, look, there's another alien here that's fucking doing bad shit. I'm doing good shit, and then it's like,
good alien, bad alien.
Start showing shit in the outer space and fucking like, I'm like, what the fuck? Dude?
And just by chance that fucking guy in the back of the cab happened to be like a UFO investigator as well, is thrown in there. Right. So, but I mean, man, it's out there, isn't it?
It's off the rails. Like that's definitely the one. It's off the fucking.
That's what Dirk thinks of it when he's watching through those fucking glasses. But I mean, as a series as a whole, man, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got it.
For the most part, there's about 4 of them that.
4 out of 15 is not a bad.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
But thinking these were lost as well for a long time, I don't even think they were on YouTube for a while either. Being a Dario Argento kind of, like super fan, I'm just so glad we got these. The way, presentation, like we said earlier, everything's great in the set. And we still got another series to talk about, even though there's less episodes and they are literally 3 or 4 minutes long. These were fun as well, man. So when we go through these.
I did think it was pretty interesting, like the Argento interview. I did watch that. I thought it was interesting because I thought I'd heard that before, but I wasn't sure. My damn memory these days is kind of screwed. But he was talking about his first choice for Deep Red was Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And a few other bands. Genesis, he was gonna get them too, but everybody was busy, and then he found Goblin. And I'm thinking
that was like a happy accident.
Yeah, Goblin was fresh out of musical school too. So
right.
Can you imagine fucking I've said it before, but those films without the Goblin soundtrack, even though they they're great films, it wouldn't work.
I just wonder
Pink Floyd, what do you think? Do you think Pink Floyd would work?
Part of me wants to know what that would be. Pink Floyd. Because just watch The Wall. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course, man.
But that would be a whole different vibe, though, wouldn't it?
It is. It's a whole. It is a whole different vibe.
But I still want to see it.
It deals more with like sorrow than it does mysterious killers. You know what I mean? Or like dramatic sequences that's going to lead to a reveal. I should say.
Which I'm glad. I'm glad Goblin wouldn't have got the notoriety that they did.
I mean, just like you, man. I would love to hear what it would have sounded like, but as far as like taking something that's unknown and making it permanent, man, that's where I'm just kind of like, yeah, man. I think we got what we got, which was the best version of what Argento was seeking. You know what I mean? Because I like Darren said, I almost don't even want to try to think about what those movies, how they would kind of feel without the Goblin.
Can you imagine Phil Collins turning up with Genesis on the fucking Suspiria theme? Or Deep Red or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, they had some cool synth shit too, but
I mean, we're literally going to watch what Jessica actually turned the flowers on the wall, and we're going to hear Phil Collins being like in the ear tonight. Like, that's not going to work.
Studio and fucking no, that's never going to work, man. But we were lucky we got what we got, really. Like, I always say that, just the godsend that fucking Goblin came into his kind of life, man. Purely by accident as well.
Yeah. Right. But, there's a part of me like this in an alternate universe just to see but
the curiosity is there meant for me too, man. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan too, man.
Because I remember, so we covered Bloody Moon, Jess Franco.
Yeah.
And, that's how they lured Jess Franco in to do Bloody Moon. They told him that they were getting Pink Floyd to do the fucking soundtrack. and he got there and they didn't have Pink Floyd. And they lied to him and shit.
Can you imagine what the royalties would have had to been like the just the royalties alone that had to be chalked up to get Pink Floyd's signature on that shit back in the day? They were hot shit, man. Like you had to give them like 90% of your shit.
Yeah. And speaking of that, man, there's an interview that we're coming into Argento's Nightmares, but there's an interview that Argento's doing with Pink Floyd, and they're like total dickheads, man. Like, did y'all see that?
Yeah, I got down in my notes. They're assholes to
they're total
replay, man. David Gilmour is actually in that interview, man. So he was there. He was present. I just saw it like literally go by while we was doing this. How it looked over, and it was Argento interviewing Pink Floyd, and Gilmour was the furthest one right on the couch.
They were disinterested. Argento was trying, he's obviously being interpreted as well, but they just seemed disinterested. Any question he asked them,
they were kind of scoffing at his questions. And
they were like, "No, I've got no nightmares." And he's like, "Oh, have you got any superstitions?" They're like, "No." And like that's
you got any mania? Did you want to discuss? He's like, "No, the same answer I just gave you."
I felt sorry for Dario during that interview. I felt because he died on his fucking ass in that interview, Dario. He just couldn't keep it going.
I was tripping out on that shit.
That sucks, man. That sucks.
But in terms of the extras on the disc, so there is an interview with Calypso 9 actress Antonella Vitali, and she mentions about she was good friends with Lamberto Bava's wife and Lamberto himself, and they were like Lamberto Bava's wife was actually the godmother of the first child or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. She went on to live in Miami, and Lamberto Bava would go out with his wife to visit her a couple of times. So yeah, they were pretty close at one point. I think she had like she worked well with Kotze as well. She said he was just a really nice guy too. But I've heard that off everyone. I've not heard anyone kind of slag.
Yeah, I've always heard Kotze's just a great guy.
Or Lamberto Bavamon. I've not heard anyone really bad about him.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some good interviews on the disc, I would say. That Kotze one that Johnny mentioned earlier is pretty good as well. There's tons of information in like 18 minutes or something.
I'm kind of behind on this comment. I need to bail. I hope this episode will be posted later. Definitely.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Yep.
Shut
up and play. Love the name. Cool name. Yeah. But yeah, it'll definitely be on the interwebs. It'll be on the. And speaking of which, like I haven't even said, man, it's gonna be on Subjective Perspective Collective and DEADPIT as well. So y'all hit the like button and do all the good things and
subscribe.
Sicilian thing that's been going on for 2,000 years.
I might say so. That is very offensive.
Oh, shit.
That's just lost us the female fucking viewers.
Michael Corleone just slapping the hell out of that girl. Was that Diane Keaton? Is that her name?
Yeah. Yep. Diane Keaton. The Godfather.
Hell yeah.
But
just this one time, Kate. One time.
We got Horror Caffeine in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
What do you want to do next? Do you want to do the actual TV show itself? Because there's like an hour and a half, kind of all the best parts, Dario's segments from a TV show, or do you want to go through the Nightmares episodes?
Just go through the Nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can talk about that at the end, then the other,
Yeah.
So yeah, these are like literally 3 or 4 minutes long. These are all done by Dario himself. He wrote and directed all of these. And again, to varying degrees, really. Some of them are great, some of them not so great. But the first episode is
he seems super like
he was apparently he was fucking really proud of these.
Not now.
Not now.
Maybe not now.
No. Not now.
Because on the interview, I think I was like reading up on it or something, and he was saying he's really proud of these episodes.
Huh.
No, he shits all over them.
Yeah, Troy and Nathaniel were saying that he probably didn't want these discovered. You know,
he's probably lying because on the interview he does say he's proud, so he's probably fucking lying, or maybe he's warm because that was maybe Troy's book was right a few years ago, wasn't it? So maybe
you can always have a change of heart, I guess.
Exactly, man. And that could have been like a feeling that went day from day. Like Sunday, he was like, "Yeah, man, like I hope they never get found." Then Tuesday, he's like, "Oh man, like they're not as bad as I thought they were. I'm proud of those." Like, you know what I mean? So I mean,
and the thing with the Nightmares, I mean, they're only like 3 minutes. You know,
yeah.
Some of them are 2.5 minutes. I mean, it's blinking. Don't get up and go use the restroom. Is all I'm gonna say.
He starts it off really great, man. Like that first one comes into play, man. We're literally listening to Argento open up, and he's discussing one of his nightmares, but at the same time, he's praising James Stewart, especially Alfred Hitchcock Rear Window. So, like to me, I was already hooked because I'm like, "Fuck, man, Rear Window is like that's my jam, man." So, I definitely dig that Argento loved that shit, but I knew he would because, man, that's one of the best fucking like the killer mystery kind of stories, man. Like fucking, especially for Alfred Hitchcock, man. That thing right there was just pure gold to me. But
you've got to see Do They Like Hitchcock, Argento's 2005 TV film, because there's a scene in this that's completely lifted, like or vice versa. You know, he took it for that film.
Definitely. It's just
especially when the guy's jumping out the fucking window. You know, I mean, we can just touch upon it. I don't want to give. What do you think about giving away the plots to these? I don't know.
No, we just kind of touch on it a little bit, but kind of.
Yeah. So, after watching Rear Window on TV, this teenager peeks out of his window and he witnesses this fucking like murder. That's the best way I can really describe it. Yeah. You got Dario is like a self-host to these with Carolina Cataldi Tassoni, like this fucking gothic.
She's she looks all weird in the background. She's all like doing like this shit behind
fucking
them.
works.
Yeah,
to me,
her
though.
behavior is a little slapstick.
And
to
his
me.
too. Like they look like they own that shit, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because like you see, Dario looks drugged out, man. He looks like he hasn't slept in fucking weeks, and
And she's just like laughing at shit, like every little thing, and
but it works. Weirdly enough, it works for the context of these episodes, I think.
Yeah.
She was on uppers and he was on downers.
And what do you think about the chick with the candlestick thing, right? She walks up the fucking staircase, knocks on the fucking little window.
Every segment. Yeah.
Yeah. She knocks on the little window and it says D Argento on the door, and that shit reminded me of Pee-wee's Playhouse or some shit.
Like she looks through a hole and then we see it from the inside.
Yeah.
Like, man, what the fuck just happened here for this transition?
It's so bad, that TV show as well, where there's fucking pauses where Dario don't know when to talk. He's reading. He's
looking down and reading his shit.
He's got that clipboard too. Like in every one of those shorts, he's like looking down that clipboard and he's moving it around. You're like, man, he's not comfortable for this.
And she's fucking around in the background doing different things, and he's kind of don't know where to look at times. It's really awkward.
There's like a big ass snake in a cage back there in the back in clear glass, and I'm like,
what was all that about? Yeah, and they show different, like, is it mice or fucking animals at one point, and for no real context why. Maybe phenomena. Maybe they were thinking of phenomena with all the insects at one point, but we do get like he goes back and he like describes all his special effects in these segments,
right? Which
is kind of cool. I'd seen a lot before, but you know. It was kind of cool. The interviews just fall flat for me. It was good that he got Anthony Perkins, don't get me wrong, but why for like 2 minutes? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of pointless to me.
Press for time.
Yeah. Maybe. The ones I did like is when he brings on, all the actresses that he worked with and his daughter Fiore at one point as well. And she looks like so different to what she was in Phenomena, even though it's like a couple of years later. She got the blonde hair. Yeah.
I definitely dug the last one though, man. Like the idea that, because it's almost kind of like it's almost like a precursor for something like Hostel, where we get to see like, and this was a bizarre situation, but it's like almost like a contest winner. Because one of the fans has written to Dario Argento and sent 2 photo stills of himself saying, hey, I want to be on one of your Nightmare episodes. So Argento's too busy to talk to him when he shows up to the studio. So he has his assistant take care of the whole thing. She literally goes out, gives him like this ticket to this hotel, like, which is basically a fucking horrible situation to be in. But he ends up going to the hotel, find out he's literally sharing a room with like 8 other dudes. They're all foreigners. He's there. He's very uncomfortable, and you can automatically see it. Not to mention, he goes to complain to try to get situated in somewhere else. He comes back and he finds his fucking wallet stolen. And then before you know it, they're all ganging up on his ass. And that's when we get to see Argento walk through the door and be like, cut. That was the nightmare. And I was like, dude, that's fucking pretty brilliant.
That was a cool twist. Yeah, definitely. And you've got the girl as well, that she comes into one episode and she was just a fan who just wrote in. That was really awkward where you see Dario fucking talking to her at one point.
It was like a creepy little vibe there, man.
Really awkward. You could tell that the conversation wasn't flowing at all with those two.
If he would have pulled out like a Happy Meal during that conversation, we'd have been like, "Oh man, like wait a fucking minute."
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
But going on to the second episode though. So Nocturnal Rites is called. A young married couple find out that their friendly babysitter is a member of a cannibalistic voodoo cult. And this kind of had like a fucking racist vibe, I thought.
They were all black.
It was a voodoo cult kind of segment, but man, that shit was creepy as shit looking. That one.
It was good, yeah.
One part of it was like really creepy where they're coming down the hallway with the candles.
Right at the end, yeah. Yeah.
So
They were in a small ass room. There was like 9 of them, like crammed in that one little room, like playing the little bongos and like sharpening
what
some
were they
shit.
doing? Sharpen their fucking swords and shit?
It was
Doing some
crazy.
kind of fucking satanic fucking rites or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I like about these episodes as well, you got Dario narrates over, doesn't he, over the stories. So that's kind of got a good touch to him. But this one was fun. It was exactly what you think it is when I just read out the synopsis. It kind of goes, where it's gonna go. There's a good scene as well towards the end when you got all the body parts in the fucking fridge.
Mother, this cloth smells of death.
So yeah, I mean, this was okay. Did you like this one, guys?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird as fuck.
One, but
I love the coincidence of it, though.
Interesting, though, and even the bad ones I found were they're worth a watch anyway.
Oh yeah. And they're so short, it's easy. Yeah, it's gonna invest.
3 minutes. Yeah. Pretty easy.
So this was a good one now. So episode 3, The Worm.
Oh yeah.
This is probably one of the most memorable things I've seen.
I think it's the best
in the whole set.
I agree.
Yeah. So you've got the blonde punk lady from Demons, Bettina, and they use her real name as well in this. You notice he uses a couple of actors in this series. Lino Salim as well later on. They use his real name, Lino. So a woman watches a TV report about an outbreak of worm infection and becomes paranoid that she's got it. So pretty much a cat or all these cats in the vicinity.
The cat has an orange discharge.
Yeah.
Like, gross as shit, dude. I was like, what the hell? Like,
she gets all paranoid, doesn't she? But then
when she sees the cat move and sees that orange shit on her carpet, she's like, freaking out.
Yeah. There's a weird scene in this as well where she's stripped down to her underwear, but you can pretty much see her fucking vag at one point.
You can.
I don't even know whether they realized this was going on TV. And
I'm sure they did. They're like, yeah, move that over a little bit.
But they didn't. They fucking apparently they broadcast it as it was, and you can literally see if you don't even have to look hard to do it either.
Right.
But so this infection starts off as like this red boil, and it can appear anywhere on the body at any time.
Right.
Man, it's cool. It's fucking cool the way they do it with the eyeball. I don't know. I just thought this was so much fun. Definitely like fucking
it's top tier out of the 9 for sure. This one and the very last one with the fan, 100%.
Yeah. So coming on to like episode 4, To Love and to Die. You've got Gloria is determined to find the masked man who raped her, and again, this was rape in a fucking in a TV fucking episode.
I know, right?
I was always reading that out, and I just realized what I said. And they put this on fucking primetime TV.
Her method to find out who the suspect is 100% brilliant gold. She literally decides, like, okay, one of these 3 men raped me. I got to figure out the only way I can figure out who raped me is to sleep with all 3 of them. And even there's like this there's this horrible, like, it's an uncomfortable joke, and you could tell it. But like, Argento's assistant, of course, who's hosting the show with him, she was like, so exactly how was she going to sleep with him to find out who it was that raped her? And he was like, isn't it obvious? And she was like, oh,
is it obscene?
Is it obscene?
Yeah. And he's like,
we're talking about.
I think it's because the episode is so fucking dark that they had to like put that on because obviously it's been played on TV just to like I don't know, just just kind of smooth it out a little bit. But this is kind of risky for a TV episode, the rape of a woman, and we do actually see the rape as well at one point. So
and the first 2 dudes she does this to, like, we actually get that little snippet of scenes where she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna see number 1 right here, see if he's the rapist. Those scenes where the guys are laying on top of her is so fucking awkward, man. It's just
it's weird. She's like, get the fuck off of me.
And they're the ugliest fucking men you can imagine. If you had to pick out 3 of the ugliest men you could, they would be these 3. And then she's like, fuck off, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
just within literally seconds of fucking
That's
having
not
sex
a
with
very
him, she's
well
like,
thought
get
out.
off me, get off me.
It's not.
Um,
And just by coincidence, number 3 turns out to be the one who raped her. It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, get
She
it
kind
in
of gets
three
this
of them anyway.
penny drop moment where she realizes this guy is the one. No, I don't know, man. I liked it for what it is, but yeah.
I like the baghead scene. Like it's got the Jason Voorhees baghead scene kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he's like hitting her in the fucking head with the fucking some kind of stick or something. I don't know.
And you knew that they put that fucking bag on their head because they probably didn't even have time to work out the fucking mask or to get one in or something.
Put that potato sack over there and stitch it up.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. The next one I liked a lot, though. I don't know if you guys did. Nostalgia Punk or Punk. Called. A woman who has insulted a witch finds out that her drink has been poisoned.
Yeah. And the quality on that one's kind of bad for some reason.
It is.
It is.
But the whole method how she fucking tries to get out the situation is fucking great. It's fucking gore. It's kind of gory as well, really.
She gets her tarot cards read and she don't like what it said.
That
like,
fortune
calling her
card,
bitch.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's very fucking disrespectful too, man. She just rearranges all the tarot cards, spits in her face, and she's like,
She
"All
turns
right."
into like fucking Reagan at some point, doesn't she? From The Exorcist and stuff. Hitting her and telling her to go and shit, man.
And then it gets all psychedelic kind of.
Yeah.
With some pink and blue shit going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So basically, this fortune teller, I believe, has like left this kind of poison in a glass for it to drink. And she inadvertently just drinks it and realizes there's one way out. And yeah, it's crazy. This one, I think, is kind of a famous episode because I've heard people mention this in the past.
About the deterioration of the inside scene and all that shit.
Yeah. So it's hard to like. This is one that'll stick with you. You remember this one. There's a few that like that, but I dug this one as well. So we're up to 6 now. The Witch. So this was crazy as well with the fucking girl with the birthday party.
Yeah,
the father fucking playing this game, this weird game.
Weird ass game.
Yeah.
It's like pass some random object across the kitchen table.
Hey, does that work? Yeah.
Turn the lights
it's
out.
Like, we got like a shoe. Oh, we got a fucking body part at some point. A fucking decapitated head.
It's a foot, you know? And all the kids are like, oh, it's a foot. And they're just passing it down.
It starts out innocent, too, because it's like a hair clip first, and then it's a shoe, and then all of a sudden it's like a decapitated foot. And you're like, wait a fucking minute, where's this going? What else is going to get passed around this goddamn table?
It fucking gets dark quickly.
And then it goes to a head, and it's like, like fucking.
Yeah.
That's a good shot, though, where it shows the head and the one girl screaming and shit.
I think it's like a hairpin at first as well.
It's a hairpin.
This was one that was written by Ray Bradbury as well, so I presume he's kind of got. It says written by Ray Bradbury and Dario Argento. So I presume he's got this off one of the old fucking episodes of like Dirk's got the TV series, the Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, I got the whole series of Ray Bradbury's theory.
I presume it's probably based off one of them. Or maybe one of his books, because I know
he wrote a lot of shit too.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it's off the wall again.
He's one that never, like I've said it before, he never gets mentioned. Nobody ever mentions him.
He's overlooked by Stephen King, and yeah, definitely.
But he was the shit, man, back in the 80s, for sure. Especially Something Wicked This Way Comes. That's like a horror movie on Disney Channel, like back in the day.
The next one is fucking great as well. I know, like Johnny was mentioning early. This one's called Fall Asleep. A man tormented by shadows on his ceiling turns into a giant mouth and eats his dog. And yeah, I did actually say that as a fucking synopsis.
And you know it looks like Little Shop of Horrors, right?
Yeah,
I presume 100%. That's what they were trying to do. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Little dog and shit growling like.
It is fucking great.
That fucking dog was mad through the whole thing too, man. Like it was showing his teeth and everything.
But that was fucking great though. Looked like Marcos kind of or something like from Suspiria, that shadow with the knife.
Right, yeah.
That's what it gave me the vibe of Suspiria. Like when you see the shadow with the knife. I don't know. But
yeah, maybe that's what they're going for. So you got Lino Salim, like again, the Rocky lookalike from Demons 1 and 2. And he starts seeing these fucking like demon shadows, doesn't he, on the ceiling.
And they don't look very good either, do they?
No, they're just black. Fucking literally.
Like shit, man. I was like,
Yeah.
what is that? That's like some out of fucking one of them things you put a quarter in, you know? Fucking.
But yeah, it's so funny, like Johnny said, where the dog fucking senses something's up and shit. And,
fucking shadow puppet kind of deal. I don't know.
He starts frothing at the fucking mouth and turns into this kind of fucking zombie.
It's fucking weird.
That dog is fucking hilarious, man. I don't know.
Argento must have been on drugs when he fucking wrote
Definitely,
this.
man.
Yeah.
Something's going on, man. Something's definitely going on. Either that, he was just having way too much fun. Like they gave him way too much creative freedom or something. I don't know.
Speedball, man.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta think about the next one as well, which is fucking crazy too. I enjoy this one as well. Sammy, yeah, man. So Sammy is home alone, waiting for Santa Claus. She hears a downstairs door creak open, and her nightmare visitor is the jolly fat man, or is it someone else sinister? Yeah, man, it's just the look of the fucking creature at the end. Or is it supposed to be an alien or something?
Yeah, that's what
I have no idea, man.
That's what Argento said, though.
Man,
like after that part, and he goes back and he explains like the nightmare's over. He's like, he's like, you know, it's you know, an alien, but he's like, ain't Santa Claus an alien anyway?
Yeah,
you
he
know,
did. That's right, yeah.
And it's the goofiest like makeup you've ever seen.
Fucking weird, man.
It is just fucking great.
It's fucking hilarious, though, man. When he pulls that mask off, like holy shit.
Because we think at first it could be like a fucking killer or something entering the place. And she's left home alone as well. Her parents has just fucked off and left her on Christmas night.
She's like 11 or 12, you know.
I mean, yeah,
should be all right.
Well, yeah, you know, only Santa as a fucking alien to turn up at one point, and that's the only thing that could go wrong. But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this one. It's just goofy fun, isn't it? The last one we mentioned earlier, pretty much one of Johnny's favorites. And that guy was an 18-year-old boy. I think his name was Enrico Giuliano. And he was okay. He wasn't great, you know, but I don't think he went on. Fan. He didn't go on to like make anything. Yeah.
That's cool though that they did that, and you know.
Oh yeah, with the girl as well, yeah. With the little
a super fan of Argento got to be in one of Argento's projects.
And that was the thing, wasn't it? With the episodes, he was getting people to write in and say and say whether
and post pictures and shit.
Yeah.
They at one point they even cuts the camera over where Argento's like, "Oh, we're even collecting like a poster board with all the photos."
Yeah, that was cool.
And all the actual photos, and you can see he was like, "Damn, like, I wonder if that was like real, or I wonder if that was like just something production put together to make it look real." I'd like to think it's real. Not to mention the two people who actually got on there, Sammy, the girl, and then plus the guy for the very last episode. So I'd like to think it's real. That
look real to me. I got from it. That's what I got from it. They do look like amateur photographs and all that. And I don't think they could have gone to that level.
And they definitely look nervous and awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just to that point where you're like, yeah, they definitely don't work in a studio.
I doubt if they had time to literally take photos of every single fucking kid or person who wanted to be on the show just to like, you know, kind of create that. So I do actually think that was all kosher. It was all real. And then we got like the other extra on the disc, which I really kind of marked out for, is you get every single Argento segment. So we got all the 20-minute segments into like an hour and a half. Yeah. It is pretty hit or miss, like we mentioned earlier, with some of the interviews. But, you know, we do get to see the woman like from Tenebrae. Get Argento's daughter. I know we mentioned this earlier, but some of that I thought was pretty cool.
Something else I forgot to mention on the episode with Dario Nicolodi, and Asia Argento and Kotzi's daughter. The one of the clues was their names, Aja and Giada, right? was the
Yeah.
tigers'
Yeah.
names.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
reveal.
Okay.
That was the reveal, wasn't it? Where
That was the
she kind of-
reveal on that one. I know I
Calypso
kind of,
worked it out.
that was like way back there when we mentioned that, but like it just came to my mind. I was like, oh shit.
But what was bizarre about this fucking TV show was they sent fucking Luigi Cozzi all the way to fucking Scotland to do a piece on the Loch Ness Monster, where he's like in the middle of the lake and they're putting microphones in the water to try and hear the monster and all that.
And he's doing it by
bizarre.
satellite, like satellite communication
yeah.
to Argento back in like Rome or some shit.
Yeah. That was bizarre how they come up with that idea too. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
That's that.
And I mean,
that's that cocaine era right there, man.
Yeah,
that's the coke. That's the coke talking.
And I mean, it's not cheap to send someone to like Scotland from Italy anyway at that point, you know, and go
Just
to all
on
the trouble of setting up all the cameras and microphones and
on a crazy idea, like a whim. Like, hey, I'm gonna send you over here. We got to go fucking hear the sounds of the Loch Ness Monster. And they're like, oh, okay.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We'll go with that.
Why not? My schedule's free.
Yeah, man. But I did enjoy this extra. I will watch it again as well. Even though it's really awkward, like we said, some of the parts is so amateurish. But that guy did get done for the drugs at one point. But like you said earlier, some of his parts, people weren't even watching, and kind of he ended up really sadly dying within literally months of this.
Months after
happening.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. And he does die. He seems like a nice guy. Like everyone on the interviews was saying, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth type thing. He was like a family man and all that. So that's kind of, gives it a bad vibe at the end. But I don't know. I liked it. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention as well. You've got the actress Fiorenza Desari from Phenomena. She turns up. She's being interviewed. You've got Laura Wendell from Tenebrae. She does the scene with the dog.
Yep.
I thought that was fucking cool to get her in. Yeah.
She's also in Lindsay's Ghost House, right?
She mentions that as well. She mentions at the end that she's done a film for Lindsay, and she did one for I think it's Joe D'Amato. So that was kind of cool. And just they weren't long enough for me, but you get what you get.
It's just kind of cool seeing Argento, during that time and knowing what you know. Like, and then you watch that shit and you're like, oh hell, man. Damn.
They kind of wrap up the whole thing as well in the last one of the series, where they get the 3 main members from Night Shift on to like mini interview with them all, which is kind of cool. I thought that kind of wrapped it up really well. They were thinking about doing a series too, but I think it just tanked.
They said they were, from reading what Troy said, that they were relieved that they didn't. Everybody was super exhausted after the shit was over with, and they were relieved they didn't get a second.
they were like, oh, sorry guys, you didn't get renewed. They're like, fucking thank God.
Right? Yeah.
That everybody was just exasperated, man. Like,
and it shows, doesn't it? How quick and fucking rushed the production was in points. Right. So,
all right, let's go back to making movies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But to get some of the highlights that we've just mentioned, considering, I think is a fucking masterpiece, really. Considering all the time they had, like little time to do it.
Per segment or episode or whatever.
But
man, I would Dario. Who knows how long it took him to do those nightmares? 10 minutes.
Well, he was doing the same mix on opera at the time. The same time he was same mix in opera, and then he kind of just come up with them on a fucking spur of the moment type thing. But
do you think those were his real nightmares?
Possibly,
Who knows,
maybe you never fucking know what drugs he was on, so he could have been fucking hallucinating some of them nightmares.
Right.
But I think it's a worthwhile set.
Oh yeah,
like we mentioned earlier.
Absolutely.
I mean, completely covered the deep cut set from Severin. Check it out, man.
I can't see anyone else on YouTube from what I've seen, and I've looked, like no one's like reviewed it you know, where they've gone for everything like we just have. So
three streams got it done, man.
Yeah, man. All four
glad,
discs is completely packed. All four discs in that thing, man. Like I'm telling you, when they put that together, all four discs is, even though our fourth disc right there with Argento's Nightmares, even though all 9 of those segments are very short, we still get 100-minute special feature like Darren just went over there. So you have that going for it, even though the first 2 discs only has 2 episodes apiece of Doors into Darkness, which was literally each episode's an hour apiece. Those fucking discs are full of special features with behind the scenes shit, some newly recorded, some archival for the most part. But when you do get to disc 3, though, we actually do get a relatively new interview right there with Argento himself for about 9-10 minutes. I believe it was from 2020 when that interview was conducted, but it was nice to see him not that long to speak about the series, and not to mention all the cocaine trafficking stories that came out with the host and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm very fucking happy with it. I said this before. I think it's one of those things. I'm sure any Argento fan knows that the links that had to be gone through to make sure that set was compiled the way it was, with all that fucking footage, all those special features, behind the scenes, archival, all that shit. Who knows what hoops had to be fucking leapt through. But yeah, it's for the price point of that, I still think it's worth every penny. I still think the opera blew it out of the water. I think it should have been released separately. Instead of doing opera and deep cuts together like Severin did. I mean, that's a great Argento bundle. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I got it. And I love everything in that bundle. Except for the excluding Simple Like Silver, just because I haven't watched it yet. But I think if they would have waited a little bit longer, a little bit down the road to release deep cuts maybe for the next sale, I think a lot more people would have been like, hey, fucking, there's really nothing else going on the boutique side, and here's our favorite director, and Severin's got something right here to offer. So I think it would have probably blew up a little bit better.
It does kind of show you though, like what Severin's giving you though, like for your money. Like
absolutely,
they're giving you a ton in that bundle. That's killer that he did it that way.
If you'd have just had the episodes alone, it would have been worth it, like I said. But to have all the extras,
but I agree. He could have split it up and got greedy. He could have got greedy, is what I'm getting at. And but he didn't. I think that's I think that speaks volumes on Severin for doing it that way. So
disc 3 alone, I went to go kind of time check it just because I was going to run through the whole disc in one sit through. Yeah. And even though the segments are like 18 minutes a piece, there's 15 episodes, and that shit clocked in at like 4 hours.
4 hours, definitely.
Then not to mention, you got 5 fucking interviews after that when you're done, and they range from anywhere from 10 to 18 minutes to 28 minutes, and you're like, whew, this is gonna be a lot today. Yeah, it's you get a lot of material though. Any Argento fan that you don't have that set, that shit is for you, for sure.
Definitely. But yeah, man, this has been awesome, man. I'm glad you come on to do this with us, man.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you guys fucking invited me to come on to do it, man. I knew when I bought this thing, I was like, man, I'm not even going to open that fucking thing until somebody gives me the word. And I kept true to my word, man. I didn't pop that bitch open until I think it was maybe a night or two before we did disc 1. And for the whole thing, I watched the whole thing with my wife, excluding disc 3 and disc 4, just because of our work schedules and everything. It didn't line up too good. But of course, she's definitely going to go back. I know she saw a little bit of NightShifts today playing, and not to mention a few segments of the Argento Nightmares. And she was like, okay, she was like, that's going to be something I'm going to watch while you're at work now. And I'm like, okay, it's fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
But she dug all that shit too, man. She loved the hell out Doors into Darkness. So love it.
No, man, it's been great having you on. I can't wait till we do other collaborations as well, because we got a few planned.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait to see what's next, man. Can't wait to see, man. But thank you guys so much, man. I'm fucking so humbled, man. You guys got me on here.
No, man, anytime. Like I say, anytime
sure.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome on.
But man, I guess is there anything else y'all want to mention or bring up, or what's coming up? Johnny?
I can say this, man. The moment you guys are like, hey, man, we should definitely since we haven't done it yet, because I've already heard Darren say it twice now.
Yeah.
The moment you guys are like, hey, man, like, fuck it, like let's throw the big guns up. Let's do a deep dive on Phenomena.
Yeah.
Fucking, whew.
Okay. Yeah. For sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Like in 2 weeks, maybe.
I like Dirk knows what I'm like. I would do Argento fucking every week if I could, but I know Dirk kind of guess he likes to spread them out a bit, don't you?
Spread them out.
Yeah, we could do it in 2 weeks though. You think? Or
I think so.
what do
We
we
got
got?
Easter next Sunday, so I'm
Yeah.
taking a break for that, and
Okay.
then we could do it the week after if you want, and then we could because I know we got Forgotten Jolly we're gonna do at some point as well, but we can
We got to
hold
do
that off.
Forgotten Jolly. That's
Eight.
coming
Yeah,
very soon.
Damn, y'all doing volume 8?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We've
God
done every one.
damn.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
So I've been waiting to fucking dive into that as
We're
well.
doing the other 7, so might as well.
Yeah.
That's
But Phenomena
fucking
would be a
impressive.
great one, man. Fucking that'd be
Yeah,
a
man.
fucking superb, like a one-off, I think, with that. And we can go through the whole thing and like, and that
Hell
set
yeah.
as well. You know, I got the Arrow set and there's tons of stuff on there, different cuts and everything. So, yeah.
Wish that Creeper's cut. Yeah, man.
Let us know, Johnny, what if that date's going to be okay for you then in a couple of weeks, and we'll finalize it and everything.
I say this
Dirk's
time
happy,
2 weeks
as
from
long
now.
as- yeah. Dirk's happy. That's the main thing.
I'm good. I'm good with
Yeah.
Phenomenal, man. It's been a while anyway. So.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But we're getting some Argento definitely in the channel in both channels.
I'll let Dirk pick a Mario Bava one after that if he wants to.
You gotta
know, whatever,
get
but-
some Baba
yeah.
in here, man, and some
Yeah,
Fulci.
yeah.
Or something else that we've never seen. I don't know, like some shit like that. So, but
hell yeah.
This has been great, dude. But,
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much, man.
Hell yeah, brother. We're gonna get out of here, man. Anybody still watching? I see that there are. Appreciate y'all hanging, checking us out. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want. If not, whatever. No big deal. And we'll see y'all next week. I don't really know what is next week. You just said
It's Easter next week. I don't know if Dirk might
I'll
do
probably,
a show you on your
I'll probably
own.
do an update because I got a pile of shit that I need to show.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff, dude, that I need to show. So that's what I'll probably be doing next week.
That man's been spending money.
A lot of shit came in that was pre-ordered, so you're welcome to join unless you got something going on. I don't know. But
Yeah,
anyway,
let me know, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate everybody. And y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.
Good night, everybody.
You have fallen into the Euro Crypt. There is no escape from the Euro Crypt.